I don't know about the way more hands than the Miss V part, but a good little, I wouldn't even say sidekick, a good partner in crime, a new partner in crime. We miss Miss V, obviously. Welcome, Brandon, to Market Mover segment. Obviously, you've been here before.
Yeah, thanks for having me,
Let's get the ball rolling. I'm gonna start off with a couple of my trades. If you guys see any awkwardness between us, because obviously we're trying to figure stuff out, so just bear with us. Let's get it started. I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Your stream deck's working?
Sure.
Okay, let's see if it is when it's time to throw it on to you, I guess. A couple of my trades right now. I'm in a UVXY long. Not really working out for me. We'll see what happens later on. Probably getting stopped out right here, actually, on the way down. Yeah, here comes a stop out for me. Bang, and we got stopped out on that one. Not a problem. We'll get right back to it if you like the long on UVXY, that is. Right now, market is going to the upside, so UVXY is pushing to the downside. So leaving that trade alone. My number one trade of the day so far is actually an Autodesk short, 182 Autodesk, pushing it to the downside. We're about $6 in the money right now. I was $8 in the money at one point. Good looking to get more shares short near 180 if it does manage to get up there. Not sure if it does. We're seeing a pretty strong resistance coming in around VWAP right now, 177, 176 areas. I would love to be having more of this the stock short at the moment, but that's this trade and my couple other trades that are not really even worth talking about. Just a long on VMware, WVMware over here. Took a long at 112, but then for some reason with the market coming down, I said, no, I don't like it. Scalped it out for a quick 50-cent win. And then right after that, it pops up at $2 in my direction. So missed out on that move. And then UVXY, we already talked about that. So those were my trades today so far. Looking for more opportunities. Tons of trades probably coming in for the rest of the day for us. Right now, we're looking at S&P 500 up 1.2%, Nasdaq up 0.5%, and market's trying to stay green overall. Brandon, let's see what you traded today, buddy.
Yeah, so I traded some Gap this morning. It got downgraded by Citigroup, and in the morning I started doing a meeting for all the traders on the floor, and this, funny enough, was actually not in the morning meeting. I was looking more towards like VMware, GME, and the monkeypox names such as like Siga, GovX, and EBS, but nothing set up that I really liked. And if nothing sets up that you were planning for, you shouldn't overtrade and FOMO into something else. But I did see right before the open that Gap got downgraded. And yeah, like all these retail names are doing quite poor right now, so I thought it was going to be a nice little short. I attempted it here just below 1045, and with these types of shorts, I'm not looking for a early reversal. I'm trying to find something that flushes right away and kind of dumps for the whole day. So as soon as I see it that there's some buying momentum, I get out. I try it again, get out, and then I try it for the third time and try. This is one of those stocks where it's like, if it's a slow day, I'm really trying to hold and be patient because I don't think right now there's too many opportunities. So I kind of held it this whole morning and just got stopped out here. So not the most profitable trade, but something I'm working on is get in good positions and try to hold as much of it for as long as you can. And like I'm happy with the trade overall, but we're definitely going to look to get in some more trades today.
Awesome. Yeah, while you're saying that right now, I got into a Wells Fargo trade. So Wells Fargo, I was trying to get into a short of Wells Fargo earlier, around 43.60s. I gave up on that short, pretty much a flat trade overall. Now getting closer to 44 on Wells Fargo, and XLF, which is the financial ETF, today getting over 34 not too long ago, just now getting over 34, playing with the high day on XLF. 22 million shares traded. Let me actually just pull it up over here. Where am I typing this? Right here, XLF AM. So just now getting over the 34 area. We're trying to see if XLF can start curling to the downside. And Wells Fargo, the 44 level also stands out to me right here. The 44 level happens to be the high of the 17th May. A bunch of bottoms also came in around that level. So trying to get in short. Let's see if we can work with this trade a little bit. And if it does manage to push back to the downside, we'll instantly make back whatever we lost over here. Trying to scalp scalp the short, and we'll add to our bank over here already on the day that we have made, thanks to Autodesk and VMware. But VMware was pretty much a flat trade overall. UVXY is our negative trade of the day. A little bit of a WFC also on the negative side, but hopefully we can make this work for us. As I mentioned, though, markets are looking to stay green today, so maybe don't try to be shorting stocks that are up 5% on the day. I'm just leaning on this level because it stands out to me on a stock that is ripping at the moment, and an ETF that's also carrying the overall position along with it. Some other stocks that we could take a look at along with the bank stocks are actually your Goldman stocks, so your Goldman Sachs, and you know, Wells Fargo, Goldman Sachs. What else could we take a look at? Maybe Bank of America, BAC. As you guys can see today, Goldman Sachs up about 4% right now. BAC probably I'm expecting another 4% to the north side, 6% on Bank of America. Right now we got a break of $36, sorry, to the upside. Let's go see if BAC also has any levels around 36 that we can maybe lean on. And that actually, that level I kind of like it. Near 36, you give it up to 36.25 to the north side. We already got a break of 30. We already got a break of 36 today. So let me just take that short right now on two banks. And give it the stop of the high day, a little bit higher than the high day of Bank of America, as I already mentioned. So just trying to work with those ones, and Autodesk trying to move back up. I'm gonna throw this over to Brendan. Let's see if Brendan's looking at anything.
Yeah, so we could talk about the VIX quickly. It's something that I've been paying a lot of attention to as of late, and it helps me identify times when I'm looking to get long versus looking to get short. And we talked about this in the morning meeting today, where, you know, VIX is kind of in this no man's land. If we do a higher time frame here, whoa, right, we're kind of in the middle of, you know, just heading above 30 or deciding, no, we want to head back down. So for me today, if VIX starts spiking and we head back into these kind of like higher 30 areas, I'm going to be trying to look for longs on the reversal. But as we're in this kind of no man's land, I feel like it's going to be a really choppy for most of the afternoon until we kind of pick a direction. And what's funny to note is Friday's huge reversal off like the bear market low was just at 33, which was Thursday's high in volatility. So that's, I think, a key level to be looking at in the VIX. In terms of stocks, not really doing too much with stocks just yet, but hopefully I can find something for you guys.
Awesome. Just trying to throw my stops out over here, but we can bring it right back to myself. Let's see what the chat is looking at today. JP Morgan, another bank being called out by the chat. Let's go take a look at JP Morgan. I'm already in two banks short, so no, I'm not trying to look for more banks to short at the moment. I think I'm okay with the current positions I have.
Yeah, JP Morgan.
But JP Morgan, another bank that is on an absolute tear, 6% to the north side with 6.6 million shares traded so far. Maybe you could short it around these areas, give it the risk of 125.30 to the upside. I would have to give it to the 125.30 or higher, just because if stops were to get taken out above 125, you know that a little bit of a wiggle room allows you to see if those if the continuation of the breakout on JP Morgan continues. Something that I would tell you to do is what I'm doing right now, is always have XLF or whatever relative ETF you're trading on the stocks open at the same time. For example, if you're trading your semiconductors, have your SOXL or SOXX or any of those semiconductor ETFs you're looking at. For myself, I'm having XLF open on my second screen while I'm in both of the banks short. One is in the money, the other is out of the money. Let's see what direction ends up working out for them at the end of the day. But moving on from the banks real quick, I see some other positions being called out, such as SIGA. Let's go check out SIGA. I know that one's a monkeypox play. Yeah. SIGA today, 41 million shares, and actually looks like gave back all of its move from the pre-market, sadly. Now in the negative territory, also in SSR mode. So did we SSR from yesterday, or I think maybe we dropped 10% from the highs? I'm not sure. I thought SSR only triggers when you hit negative 10%, but either way, it says we're on SSR mode. So if that is true, it's going to be harder to short the stock on the way down. Only when it's going higher will you be able to pick up your shares to get short on SIGA, which has sadly given up most of its pre-market gains already. And another stock that I believe was EBS. Another monkeypox stock in play today, EBS. actually holding most of its pre-market move, bouncing off of 37 right now, heading towards the $40 mark. Maybe we get a $40 breakout this time where it creates a head and shoulder if you're looking at the pre-market levels and the current level that might come up right now, opening high at 42, giving you a nice left and a right shoulder, and then crashing the stock from there on out. But what are you looking at, Brankles? Are you looking at any of these plays?
Yeah, I kind of just FOMO'd right now into a little VIX long. It's hovering above low a day, and we seem to be that's like a really good opportunity in terms of risk to reward to get into the VIX trade. I know you've been kind of trading it a lot recently, and it's something that I've been focusing on as of late. And I find even though the UVIXY, you can't really trust the levels too much because it's a levered ETF. But if it is kind of ranging and bouncing off some key levels, there might be a buyer that keeps stepping up the bid. So what I did, kind of risking off that 1545, which is low of day, get into a decent price. Probably should have fought for a better fill, and then we're gonna see if this market kind of reverses now on us because we've been hitting new highs, and get a nice little long off the VIX.
Yeah, UVXY, man. To be honest, half of that trade was just from jealousy of how good you've been trading that position. You know, keeping
you've got some good longs.
Yeah, keeping it honest. You know, keeping it honest with myself. But it's good, healthy competition between us on the floor. Not just you, like all of us on the floor here. At the end of the day, we're trying to be better than ourselves.
Yeah.
So UVXY today, sadly, not a good trade for me. One of my only down stocks is UVXY, but hopefully the Wells Fargo and the Bank of America short right now, which are working for us, will pay me. Autodesk, my other position that I did mention from the start of the day, I can just click this one right here. ADSK, getting towards the 178 marker right now. If you were to look at on the 5-minute time span, you'll see how 178 areas does have a candle high, but then the tails do wick up to almost 179, 180s at some point on the 5-minute chart. So if I was to think about adding some size, maybe 178, so 178 would be appealing to me. But realistically, you know, I'm so adamant about the prices that I want to get filled at. So if I'm not gonna get at 180, I just won't be part of the trade. Still holding a $4 per share winner. We were previously $8 in the money. My target on this position was out at 175, and 175 already broke, giving us a proper exit at 174 almost, and I didn't take that exit. So now that I'm considering that, if the stock does manage to get back to 180, which would have been my original break short, but I took the 182 break anyways, I'll start looking for some position entries over here in order to have that move right back to below VWAP on Autodesk, which I believe got a downgrade or not sure what it was exactly. Let me just open my my watch list here real quick to take a look at it. What was the reason why I even traded Autodesk? The design software stock fell by almost 4% in pre-market after RBC cut its price target on the stock to $255 per share from $295. They said they need to establish more consistency to increase investor confidence. So lack of investor confidence and the price target cut to $255. We're currently trading at $174. So obviously more downside could be in this stock. With the relative volume of today. When I was trading it, it was 9 times. Now it's only 3.7 times.
Yeah. I got a stock. So someone in the chat mentioned ROST, Ross Stores. I know this was in play on Friday, and I actually had a nice short on it off 74 early in the day. So yeah, so this is kind of topping out around here at 78. So I didn't see what size or what was happening closer to 78, but it's definitely something to watch today. If this thing, you know, caught a bid after getting really sold off on Friday, so I'd be looking kind of shorted again as a second day play to see when the buyers kind of get exhausted and when the sellers come back in.
Ross Stores. All right, let's keep an eye out for that position when it does come into play. Right now, Bank of America and Wells Fargo are getting elevated a little bit more to the north side. Thankfully, I do have my stop out for both of them. And XLF also getting back over 34 right away. So XLF currently up 3.5% on the day, taking most bank stocks along with them. I see chat calling out AMD. AMD, wow, is the expressions being thrown out. Let's go check out what AMD is doing. I know AMD is in the negative, and yes, that is true. Still in the negative. AMD did dip as low as $91, getting back to 93 right now. Maybe that's what you're excited about the long on AMD. Congratulations for anyone who had that. Market still looks a little weak to me. You know, we're still under 4K on the S&P 500, and NASDAQ that just cannot seem to get to the 12,000 level for some reason. We keep pushing up there, but we cannot manage to get above 12K. So that struggle is still scaring me about the longs. But as Brankel's already mentioned, or Brandon mentioned, you know, that the UVXY is showing a clear picture for today at least. You know, it's a no man's area, as he put it. I think that was a really good way to put it. Market just trading sideways for the most part. We did get a breakout of high a day and in the S&P 500 not too long ago. Let's see if that brings some extensions in the long direction for some stocks that you guys are looking at. For example, AMD maybe getting to the positive direction. Let's go check out Facebook today. Facebook currently in the positive already, but you know, in pre-market ranges though. Maybe we get a nice little pre-market breakout on Facebook over here. Let's go check out Apple at the moment. Apple also getting past 140. So I was actually thinking about taking that 139 breakout was a pre-market high. I had my order, but then I removed my order and I missed out the move that we got on Apple here. A nice 3% move that we're seeing coming into Apple at the moment. Looks like we're at the high days also. Let me go confirm if that is true, or if this candle, which I think is a dark pool candle, is the high day at 141.68. So
I think
Apple,
that's the high of the day.
that is the high day?
I think so.
Yeah, 141.68 is indeed the high day. So let's see if Apple can go take out that level and give us a new high day.
I don't know if this is too soon, but should we talk about Tesla?
Who cares? Just talk about it. What do you mean it's too soon? Oh, because
Oh,
Valeria's not
yeah,
here.
rest in peace. She's not dead, by the way.
that makes sense.
Okay, yeah. So Tesla was actually like everything was crazy on Friday. I'm glad it's actually a slow day.
Listen, you're
so
Russian, she's Russian.
close enough.
It's all good.
Yeah. So Tesla looking like it's kind of hovering around break even today. Bounced off the low here at 638 and kind of just being like this choppy mess like the market is today. Yeah, like usually I'm trying to short Tesla, but today kind of probably staying away. It's not really in play for me until we kind of get back down to the lower end of the market range, which is, I think, what was the low on Friday? 38.10, something like that.
On Tesla?
No, on the ES.
The ES.
Yeah.
ES low on Friday was 38.07.
Yeah, so kind of probably going to stay away from Tesla until we get back to those ranges. I think there's more sell-off coming for this stock, but as of today, probably just going to be pretty choppy until news pops up.
Yeah, Tesla. We're waiting to see what Tesla will do for the market. Currently, I know a lot of people are looking to invest in Tesla, buy some shares for the long term maybe. I know a couple of my friends were talking about, oh, bro, Tesla's at 600. Should I buy some? And I was like, I just didn't even bother replying to them. Hopefully they're not watching me at the moment because I'm screwed if they are. But how do I answer such questions to people who market most likely going a little bit downside more, but it also could just launch from here and then make me look like a complete idiot to my friends. So the best thing is to just not answer anything to them and just leave them alone in the dirt. And I'm the one over here taking advantage of these moves on my own account. I love you boys, so whoever is watching at the moment. Wells Fargo and Bank of America coming back to the downside over here slightly, so let's see if the market can push itself down here. Nasdaq's really struggling to get to the 1% side on the day, but S&P 500 has been in the positive and also in the negative at some point. I think we just barely got to negative actually on the S&P 500. We got down to the, as Brandon was talking about it, that 3,900 level, which was the level that I took short over here, the breakout of 3,900, and I exited at the low over here. Maybe if I pull it up, the MES, which is what I traded, like you can see my execution real quick. That'll be a negative. Yep, that'll be a negative. But anyways, coming down to that level, giving you a quick little long scalp or long entry, you would have had to been really quick with that 39.05 area to go long. And now we're back to the higher days area for the S&P 500, 39.60, 39.55. We're looking for that 4K retest. If there's any longs in the market today, they will try to push the market to 4K at least. That's my opinion on it. I could be wrong on that. I want to see the 4K retest today before I go, okay, the longs are back in play for most of the stocks. I think the long for some stocks such as Apple was pretty evident. I just wish I didn't pull my 139 breakout order off the pre-market high. That would have been a clean $2 in the share trade for me to the north direction. AMD, I'm still a little worried about AMD. You know, we did see it go to 100, but then immediately got sold off to 92. The PE is still ridiculously high for AMD. AMD has been weak sometimes when the market's been strong, and been strong sometimes when the market's been weak. So there's somewhat of an inverse relationship that AMD is dealing with right now. You know, maybe it's going with a breakup with the market. I don't really know what's going on, right? Maybe they got to go with a court case like Amber Heard and whatnot. But whenever they deal with their relationship problems over there and start trading along with the market, then I'll be more than happy going long on AMD, because the market's trying to go long at the moment. Overall, AMD down almost 1% on the day. What is NVIDIA doing? Its partner in crime, the other chip makers. NVIDIA also down 0.5% on the day. INTC, Intel, I'm guessing positive. Yeah, buddy, Intel actually positive on the day by almost 1%. And last but not least, Micron. Micron is also positive, and barcoding pretty strong at $69 or so on Micron.
Kind of hard not to be positive today. We're having a nice little bounce back day, so hopefully some strong stocks are performing well. Someone mentioned like raw stores hit 78. Yeah, here it's here on my left. As you can see, like volume kind of really dying down on this stock, so not something I really want to get involved with. As well, like if you see the level 2 here, there's not a lot of size anywhere. It's kind of illiquid and the volume's down. So that's a kind of very dangerous situation in the middle of the day, where it's like you don't have a lot of liquidity and the volume dies down. So this thing could start whipping around and you can't really get a good tell on what it's going to do. So unfortunately, even though it's kind of topping out here at 78, I'm probably going to stay away as of right now. Funny, like I'm still in this kind of VIX long, and it just shows you kind of how choppy and undecisive this market is. Usually this 1.5 times levered ETF is pretty kind of wild and moving around, but as of right now, it's kind of staying steady. So I'm in it for now, but kind of like the longer you stay in a position as a day trader, I feel like the worse the outcome is going to be. Usually when I personally punch into a position, I want it to start working right away, because the great trades are going to start working right away. So the longer this kind of stays choppy, the more likely I am to just punch out and try to find something else. But as of right now, it looks like we might be topping out and this might start flying to the upside. So we'll see.
What stock was that you're talking about?
The UVXY.
UVXY, yeah, UVXY. So we're waiting on to see what UVXY wants to do for sure still. You know, not only is UVXY no man's land, the market's very much in range of I want to say Friday, completely stuck in that Friday range. Let's go literally go confirm if that is true. So as you guys can see, the the Thursday high, the Friday high happens to be also somewhat of the high today, and we're still playing around in these ranges. We're waiting for this 4K retest on the market, which I already talked about a couple times. So we have a bunch of variables, but I think what I can really talk about right now about the market variable is, you know, we always keep mentioning how there are no real positive catalysts that we can pinpoint to that can help the market get elevated to the north side, but there are multiple negative catalysts that we can pinpoint to that will scare us about the current stock market that we're looking at, such as already existing COVID-19. Thankfully, the COVID-19 cases are going down, but WHO has come out and said that the pandemic is not quite yet over. And then we also have this new monkeypox that's coming out. We also have the Russia-Ukraine conflict. So there's a lot of reasons out there that's actually fearful to the market overall, and the biggest fear out there is the inflation war that Jerome Powell is trying to wage over here. But sometimes looks like you know, they have blinders on, right, with with the amount of hike points that they're doing. Just give us a random hike point and just see how it goes. Just give it to us a random big hike point. But anyways, all jokes aside, lot of fear factors. Fear is not a factor for me. No, a lot of fear factors in the market, and no real point to get too excited about it, start pushing your buying power into the market just yet. So noticing those points, I think this is why the market is not yet really taking past the 12K on the NASDAQ or taking past the 4K on the S&P 500, even after having multiple down days on the market.
Yeah, what am I looking at here? All right, so things are slow, so I'm paying attention to the one indicator that I've been liking a lot lately. I'm going to keep talking about it as I come on the show. It's this VIX, kind of hovering around 29 right now. I think a breakdown of 29 and then a continued push down, then I'll start being interested in some longs. As of right now, I think the short's still in play back up to the 30s. So just got to be patient. I think that's something that's really tough in being like a new trader, is like understanding like when is the time to trade and when is the time to be patient. I think right now is a great time to be patient in this market, because look, Friday was a pretty hectic day and that was a time to kind of be risk on, and then today is kind of more calm, cool, and collect, and you got to really assess where you want to be in the market. So as of right now, we're staying calm and hopefully going to find something good soon.
Yeah,
kind of boring. I'm sorry, but I don't really have too much to trade today.
Yeah, no worries about that. I was just looking at your screen. There's a lot of level 2s over there. I'm wondering if the viewers can even understand what's going on that side.
Is there any questions I could explain to them?
We might need to recreate your layout for the show a little
Just too many colors?
Yeah, no, just too much going on for the viewers. Some of them probably don't understand what's going on that side. This is why like I have a couple charts.
I could do this if that's maybe easier.
Yeah, I think that would be a little better. At least some graphical representation for them to see on their
maybe
side.
Like this, so they get less level 2.
Yeah, you're just level 2 blasting them right now on that side.
That's how I
like
trade.
It, though.
That's how I trade.
You know my screen over here, which is just straight level 2. So
yeah.
Nothing wrong with it. Whatever helps you make a trade at the end of the day, right? That's all it is. All right, can you go look at Infosys? Okay, INFY. Let's go take a look at Infosys. I believe this is an Indian company. At least that's what I remember about it. 1 million shares today traded so far. What is the relative volume end of it? I'm guessing it's actually not bad for that. Ooh, I'll be wrong on that side. Infosys, 0.44, so not really doing a ton of volume on this company today, but it is getting pushed up to the north side for some reason, even though the relative volume is to the low end side. Almost 1% to the upside, and trying to get up to $19 maybe. Trying to see if I can find any levels over here that we can possibly trade out of. I guess the $19 could be a level, because we have some bottoms over here at $18.90, even at $19. But I think the more interesting level for me would be around $20 if the stock does manage to get up there. At the moment, just giving it that weight room, as Brandon just mentioned. No need to execute trades at the moment. No need to get into positions just to be into positions. You know, if you can just garner some patience, look for the right time, look for the right opportunities, that will actually help you a lot more than just FOMOing into a trade because your friends on Discord are in trades, aren't making money, or whatever it is that's making you push a trade. That being said, I just got wicked into a position on Autodesk. So Autodesk, my second entry of the day, near 180, as I planned just now, got into that position. Let's see if Autodesk can start trickling back again to the downside, adding to my PNL that I already had on it. Previously was $8 in the money on that trade, now only 69 cents per share. If Autodesk does want to go up to 182 again, I will be gladly taking more size on this trade. Now that the spread is not as bad as it was off the open. The spread off the open was ridiculous, horrendous. You know, put more words in there to explain the bad, the horrible spread of it. But now the spread's actually not as bad. So if we do get up to 182, Pratty Daddy will be looking to add more size on that trade. Yeah,
back to me. Still kind of sitting here. Looks like I don't know if they could see it because my face is blocking. I'll move it up here. Looks like UVXY is kind of heading back to the downside. That means the market rally is strong as of right now. Probably going to get wicked out. But yeah, still kind of being patient, waiting for my time to strike. You know, I'm like an animal in the wild, just trying to like stalk its prey, being patient, and waiting to strike. And as of right now, you know, I gotta just stay in the long grass and wait. But hopefully something pops up soon. Any tickers? Someone, Palantir. I could talk about Palantir. Give Prad a break. Wow, Palantir under $10, $8 right now. Low of the day was $7.80. Looks like it's kind of hovering around VWAP, deciding kind of with the market what it wants to do. But funny enough, like this is a stock today that I try to avoid. Market's rallying, Palantir's down 1%. So why pop into a long here when the stock is telling you that it's weak, right? So I would try to avoid this on the long side. If we do have a reversal in the market, maybe look to short Palantir, right? I want to be longing strong stocks and shorting weak stocks. Something that I'm trying to like really build into my mentality as a trader is like stick with the trend and find stocks that are in trend with the day and like execute when the trend is right in your favor. So yeah, avoiding Palantir on the long, maybe look to short if we reverse in the market. I could also talk about AT&T. It's kind of like my favorite stock these days, but trade it almost every day. For some reason, I got a nice little bid today. We're back up close to 21. Kind of consolidated around 2045 and just didn't look back like with the market. What's funny is people tend to want to trade high beta stocks, and I was in that camp for a while. And then what I realized is high beta stocks are way more whippy because they're moving with the market. But if you look at something like an AT&T, which is I think maybe a half a beta, it gives you more time to assess whether your position's actually right or wrong, and you don't actually get stopped out. So for any like newer traders, I think like AT&T is a really good day trading stock right now to just assess like, hey, am I in a good position with the market? Am I not? Is AT&T have some news? Am I long? Am I short? It gives you time because it's slow to make good decisions. So if anyone's trading AT&T with me, you'll probably see it on more executions like as I continue to come on the show with this stock.
Yeah, if you ever see someone on AT&T with the EdgeX order, with big EdgeX orders, Brankles over there, no doubt about it. You know where your counterpart is for without a doubt
I am
on
the
that
level.
side. What's that?
I am the level.
He is the level, so you can lean on him, and trust me, he's not spoofing that order. You can lean on his order and write that stock. But no, AT&T, good stock for him. Almost as good as Ford is for Spencer that you guys have met before. Maybe he comes on sometime this week. Who knows? We'll find out. But for that, you have to stay tuned on this show right here on Market Movers. We don't know who's coming on next. Well, I do. He does. Everyone else does, but you don't. So stay tuned. Smash that like button just to see who comes on in the next hour and for the closing hour to trade with me and for you guys too on the live show. Right now, I have more orders to get more short, and they are coming into play at the moment as Autodesk is going to the north side. So Autodesk does want to go all the way back to almost $182 looks like, which is actually good for me because more and more entries. I want all the shares I can get of this position. Right now with the position where it's trading, we're about 10 cents out of the money, but not something too significant. You know, obviously we're trying to get more and more size on this trade. My next order is pretty much at 182, waiting for that order to come into play. If it does come into play, then we can give the risk of 185 or so and ride this position back to the downside, see how big of a winner we can make it, which already has been a pretty big winner for us today so far. And Wells Fargo sadly going in the opposite direction than the direction we needed to, so that's not working out for us. But we do have our stop out. We have our stop sent out pretty ridiculously higher than I realistically wanted to, but you know, for the amount of size I have, that I cannot move my stop lower than where I realistically should have my stop at. So if that stop does get triggered, we lose a little bit more than I want to on Wells Fargo. But thankfully, we have other trades on the board, such as Autodesk and maybe other trades later on in the day that we can work with to bring back some of that trades. Ooh, MNQ actually took out the 12K level not too long ago. So maybe a long on NASDAQ could be something to be thinking about at the moment. Now, I did have an order that I also pulled. I just need to stop pulling orders to get long at 1190 break of the NASDAQ market. So that would have been instantly 20 points in the money or more. Let's see how high NASDAQ market can go here. Obviously, NASDAQ taking out 12K means Apple is ripping to the north side. AMD is ripping to the north side. And a lot of these positions in the tech sector are getting into the positive territories. Look at Microsoft now getting up to $260. Beautiful longs coming into play across the board. I hope some of you are involved in it. Looks like as Brandon did mention, the UVXY crushing to the downside. Now 3% negative on UVXY, and markets are positive by 1% on NASDAQ, 1.3 and 1.8 on the S&P 500, taking the overall market with it. Hopefully not the banks, because I'm praying that the banks are done with this extension to the north side. So far already 4% to the upside and trying to keep on moving up, which is not good for me.
Okay, I got some stocks here that we haven't talked about today. So it looks like energy, has probably been the best performing sector of the year so far, and it looks like Chevron and Exxon kind of caught a bid today, both up around 3%. And then Oxy to my right here, only up 0.58. So maybe this is a laggard right now in this sector, even though Oxy has been performing quite well, I think, since Warren Buffett started buying up this stock. So I'm thinking, hey, maybe if energy keeps catching a bid and Oxy is lagging a bit, it might be not a bad trade to get long Oxy and see if it could catch a bid with the rest of the industry. And like Prad's saying, like market's breaking out right now. I think maybe we've picked the direction for the day, and we might have to start getting into longs, not FOMOing into longs, but trying to find opportunities that are gonna get us paid. So I'm looking at Oxy right now, coming back towards VWAP, still up on the day, so still in the right trend of what I want to be trading, but obviously lagging behind guys like Chevron and Exxon. So I'm looking at Oxy right now, probably going to pop into position soon.
AMD has not had a close below the low for the first 10-minute bar, and it's not at a close above the first 10-minute bar. Nice, good observation on that one. Been calling this long all day. How can you not see this market wants to rip? It is moving right now, so congratulations on your call out. Hopefully you have an execution to help you make you money on that trade, because unluckily calls don't make you money. Calls don't do anything for you. They just make you look like a god. But at the end of the day, executions are what's required. So hopefully you are in some long positions to help you with your trades overall or with your thesis. For now, I am still not convinced the market wants to rip, because 12K has not yet broken on the NASDAQ. 12K did, it tickled 12K, and now we're trying to get back under. I'm still looking for multiple reasons to, be bearish on the market. You know that, for no doubt about that. But for anyone who has found a reason to get long in the market today and is able to capitalize on it, congratulations, because the market is indeed in the positive territory. Short AMD, I don't know, man. Obviously, market wants to go up today, right? So on that note, why did I click learn more on that? I did not click learn more. Cancel that. Cancel this. All right. So AMD. Let's go check out AMD at the moment. Getting up to 94, still looking weak, along with even though the market is trying to go above 12K over there. So maybe 94 short still gives you a trade. 94.50 pre-market high. I would technically give it up to 94.50. If I was thinking about the camera. We have to switch the cameras. My bad. I would give it up to 94.50 if I was to go short over here on AMD, just in case the pre-market high level ends up being a barrier on the stock. So that would be my trade over there. Right now, with the NASDAQ trying to go higher and S&P 500 trying to go higher, I would just be not even thinking about shorting any of these tech stocks, just leaving alone. But if there is any tech stock to be thinking about shorting, it would be AMD, because that's been weaker than the overall market today. Let's go take a look at some of the other positions that you guys are taking about. Maybe, unless you had something?
Yeah, so I just
He
got.
does
We
have
can talk
something.
about Oxy. So I just got into Oxy. Kind of was reversing. Oh, they can't see it. Sorry. My face is always in the way. All right. So yeah, I got into Oxy here. As you could see, this execution is kind of came back towards VWAP on the little pullback of the energy names. So I'm thinking, okay, energy is strong today like it's been all year. This stock is kind of lagging the other names. I think Oxy is still a great company, still got a lot of buyers behind it. I don't know the reason why it's lagging today, but I'm saying, hey, it's very likely that this is going to start catching up once more people see that, you know, energy sector is running, but Oxy's lagging behind. So caught it just above VWAP. I don't know. We're going to hold it here. I put my bid out to 63. Probably if, you know, you should be giving it to low of day as the trade. But you know what? I think if it's already coming down that much from where it is now, I don't really want to be in it. But I would be okay if someone was like, hey, you should probably give that to low of day. I don't mind that as well. So in around VWAP, out around low of day. Hopefully that Oxy is catching a bit with the rest of the energy names. That's the trade.
Oxy, yeah, Occidental Petroleum. I had a nice little long breakout trade not too long ago on that stock. Let's go see what Oxy is right now. Obviously, Brandon took a look at it. I just want to take a quick look at it for myself. Okay, it's trading sideways, 0.5% up on the day. Let's go take a quick look at XLE, the overall energy ETF. What is XLE looking like today? Ripping to the north side, 2.7% up overall with 11 million shares. And obviously, if XLE is moving north, you can see Chevron, Oxy, IMPP also most likely, IMPP on Amex. Nope, on New York. Nope, on NASDAQ. All right, cool. 13 million shares traded on IMPP today, and still under $1, sadly, but IMPP also in the negative territory, even though the overall energy sector has been to the north side. I have to switch cams. All right, Brankles. Every time I'm talking, hit Prad screen. Okay? No, Prad screen, not Prad off. Prad screen. Perfect. And every time you're talking, I'll hit Val screen.
Okay.
All right, awesome. So as I said, guys, we're gonna come into a little bit of hiccups here and there. You know, he's not used to clicking all the buttons, nor am I, because I had Valeria clicking the buttons for me. So a little bit of hiccups here and there. Thank you for bearing with us. Make sure you're smashing the like button though, because we do need that without a doubt. NFLX is fairly strong, Prad. Let's go check out Netflix. Netflix has been weak a lot recently. Unlucky for its own, unlucky for itself, really, because of the stock market crumbling on itself. Even Netflix earnings coming out. Netflix then talking about their loss of. What was it? Was it the subscriber base? You know, more and more people leaving Netflix overall, going into other competitors such as your your Disney Pluses and so on. So competitors taking competition away from Netflix caused some issues. Netflix today still negative on the day. Not sure how what part of it seems strong to you. Maybe it's this move that you're seeing right now coming from 178 to 185 feels strong to you, but I think this is still pretty weak. You know, we're down almost 1% on the day when NASDAQ is up 1.3% and S&P 500 is up 1.8. What are the Dow Jones looking like today? Dow Jones, I'm guessing positive. Don't disappoint me. Yeah, positive by 2 full percent. And the small float IWM Russell 2000 also in the positive territory by 1.5%. So when the overall market is just screaming to the red direction, green direction, Netflix is in the red territory. I wouldn't really call it strong. Apple gonna make new highs. Yeah, Apple. Let's go. Keep on screaming to the north side. Apple about to go test 142 at the moment. 141.94 high a day on Apple. It's very possible that Apple takes out that high, but it's also possible that Apple doesn't take out that high at the moment. So let me just quickly get short Apple. I'll take pretty decent size over here on the Apple short. They didn't even give me my full size. Okay, there we go. We got our full size that we needed. We got a pretty big size over here on Apple. Hopefully it doesn't burn us. We're not giving it too much of risk at the moment either. So let's push it down, Apple. Come on. Okay, there we go. Big trade for me on Apple. Cashing out some profits to the downside. Instant scalping, 23 cents to the downside. We still have a lot of our size left, so let's take out some more just in case Apple whipsaws right back like that. We're not looking like idiots holding all of our size back to the upside. So actually, I'm gonna throw it over to Brandon so I can manage my trade.
Yeah. On me? Okay, perfect. So Neil mentioned in the chat CBIO. I'm not sure exactly what this company does, but it's up over 200% today. So here I pulled up a daily chart. So you can see here, looks like at around $3, there was a huge sell-off and kind of worked its way down to around just under 50 cents. And today some volume picked up. I'm assuming you guys know the news. I'm not too sure. But it's one of those things, if you're day trading a stock like this right now, can you really like define levels other than 3? Like I would say from 50 cents to 3, there's no really kind of defined levels. That's why you have to know how to trade on a level 2. Because in the level 2 intraday, you could find where there's buyers, where there's sellers, and try to position yourself accordingly.
Frankles, are you giving away level 2 secrets? I'm joking.
Yeah. I'm like, am I? I guess not. But if we want to kind of dive a little deeper in, so this is the level 2. As you can see here, like 800's kind of a bigger level, 116, 141, and like other gateways are behind it. So right now, let's say, there's a lot more buyers at 117 to 118, and then it'll go back and forth. So if, in terms of this stock, that's how I would be trading it today. No really clear levels other than, I want to go long because of some news. But in terms of intraday trading, I would probably just kind of lean on the level 2 rather than looking at a chart. And that's why usually I have all my level 2s out, because when I'm getting in and out of trades, the chart doesn't help me at all. It's all about where are the buyers and where are the sellers. And, that's what I'm trying to preach to all the new people that have come up onto the floor, where it's like, yeah, you could chart and you could find levels, and that's kind of how you generate ideas in the market and be creative. But in terms of execution, which at the end of the day is our job here, you got to understand the level 2. You got to understand the time of sales, and that's something I'm hoping that I can maybe preach to you guys as well, because I'm a really big fan of the level 2.
Apparently not, because one of our viewers goes level 2 is worthless.
Yeah, so one of... Yes, the level 2 can be manipulated, but how else are you going to find information of where the buyers and sellers are? And you could also go to stocks that have a more kind of conservative classic level 2 compared to others. So that's something I do lean on. It isn't for everyone. I wouldn't say it's worthless though. Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with everything you said there, my friend. We understand the importance of a level 2.
Yeah.
And what are you forgetting right now? I'm going to keep reminding you till you get used to it, because you're going to be sitting here a while. There we go. Click on my name. Good job. Just getting you used to it.
For sure.
No harsh feelings at all. What was I talking about though? The level 2 stuff.
Yeah.
So the level 2 stuff, we know the importance of it. For anyone who thinks level 2 is not important, I'm not trying to argue with you. But the way we trade over here, level 2 is very, very important to us. We need to see where the size is, because we're trying to push big money around here. For example, if we're trying to take, let's say, 1,000 shares of Apple, and we don't know where our exit is. For example, we don't know where we can punch out for 1,000 shares for a loss. That's not a good thing for Brankles or myself over here. So level 2 is almost as important as I would even say more important than RSI or MACD or anything else that most people use out there. Be very careful, to not incorporate level 2 in your trading setup. Would be almost as not using a crystal ball that the gods gave to you. Right, it's pretty much a crystal ball that the gods crafted to you and presented to you to rub it and find out where the answers are. And you're saying, no, I'm going to throw it across the room. I'm going to hire a monkey to throw dartboards for me, and those are the stocks I want to trade. That doesn't make any sense. But, everyone has their own trading methodologies at the end of the day. Apple short, man. I scalped it for a quick little trade, held it. I would have been smoking it right now. Instantly $1 per share on the Apple. Market's pushing back to the downside. I did mention, man, 12K not getting taken out is a big factor. We need that 12K breaking on the market for NASDAQ for me to say the longs are really here. I mean, yeah, you know what? The longs are here. Apple's up 2%. Market's up 1%. S&P 500's up 1%. But 12K. That 12K is a barrier, an absolute barrier. Be careful. But I am glad that some of you were able to capitalize on that long. Hopefully some of you are able to capitalize on that short a little bit more than I was able to capitalize. Now Apple is my #1 stock of the day, instead of being ADSK. What was ADSK? Autodesk. Instead of being Autodesk being my #1 stock of the day, it is Apple at the moment. But would have been even more if I just traded it a little bit better. Didn't trade it as good as I would have liked to, but let's see if now the market getting pushed down slightly was helping my my XLF trades, which are my financial trades. This Wells Fargo short that you're seeing and this Bank of America short that you're seeing, both of them sadly out of the money, but good consolidation near the 36 high on Bank of America. Good, Wells Fargo still trying to scare me by continuously going higher, but thankfully not going too much higher than 44.20 at the moment. Let's hope that it stays that way and the market pushes it to the downside, giving me a good short on Wells Fargo and a good short on Bank of America. ADSK, I'm not getting more size. I have moved down this order multiple times from 182 to 181.50, and they just don't want to give me more size. They clearly don't want me to win at the moment. It's time to throw Brankles on the hot seat a little bit more.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go manage some trades.
Yeah. All right. So as per usual, I'm looking at the VIX. Looks like we just broke 29, which is kind of a key level that I've been looking at. So I would say kind of like this bounce play is in for today. And as we continue to break 29 and work our way to 28.50 and 28, I'm going to try to see if I can get into some longs. So what does that mean for me right now? That means that that's what's funny about the UVIXI, how it is 1.5 times levered, but on the day, like the VIX is actually at day's low, but here we're kind of hovering around the middle. So I'll probably look to kind of exit this trade because I don't like it as much anymore with the VIX breaking 29. So let me get out of this. Small little winner, whatever. Get out. When the trade, this trade, usually I want it to be spiking a lot higher. I don't want it to be kind of consolidating, like I said before. So I found it like something in the market that kind of doesn't match up with that thesis. So I get out. So even though we made it, probably like a little, like 10 cents there, we'll take it. And now we're kind of focusing in on Oxy. I should probably have futures up for oils. I have more screens at my desk usually, so I don't have enough space for that right now. But I'm watching CVX as kind of like the counterparty to it. It looks like it came back a bit, as you could see here, and now kind of hovering around 172. And then the same thing kind of goes for Oxy. I guess we'll put it on this side for you guys to see. So this is kind of just like a trend trade with two similar stocks. Oxy or CVX seems to be pulling back, and therefore Oxy is too. So we're hoping to see the energy sector kind of continue to grow today and continue to grow to the upside. So we'll see if I don't get stopped out. I'll still be in this trade. Other than that, it's kind of, what else am I looking at? So looks like Snap's getting some volume. It just showed up on my stock scanner for kind of the 5-minute volume. Yeah, it looks like there was a huge spike in volume to the downside. Snap down. Oh, it's always on the wrong side, eh? Snap's down almost 5% for anyone wondering, and a big volume candle just came in. We'll see. Maybe, Snap's not a great company. Maybe if it goes back to low of day, we could look to short it. But, yeah, that's something that I'm going to keep an eye on now. Other than that, what's moving? AMD is moving, so we could look at that. Yeah, AMD kind of like this 94 level is pretty key today. Looks like we got some dark pool wicks here earlier. I don't know if that's actual real trades that happened today, but I would say 94 is probably the high of the day. So if the market keeps kind of going back up, which I expect that it will, we can maybe take a breakout there. So yeah, VIX still hovering around this 29, this really big kind of inflection point in the market today. Are we going to hit 29 and bounce back up to 30 and have a nice reversal, or are we going to keep kind of lowering the volatility in the market and have the bounce day remain strong? So that's something that we're going to just keep an eye on and hopefully, get into some trades.
Awesome. I see a super chat from Dominic. You need to be able to read and find supports on the chart. Yeah, we always talk about that. You got to. He said that too. He mentioned that.
That's where you generate ideas, but that's not where you execute trades.
People just don't listen to our words completely, and they just like arguing with us 90% of the time. That's how it always works out. Welcome to the show, Brandon.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show, Brandon.
Good to be
I
here.
hope you're learning a lot right now.
Yeah.
But we did mention that you have to look at your level, your charts to find your supports, resistances. Then you read the tape around those levels to give you an idea to trade around those levels. If you see more buying coming in at your level where you want to be short at, obviously you don't want to be going short there, right? So level 2. Coupled with the other things over there will be your overall tool base. It's knowing how to increasing your tool base. And then I see the same guy arguing with Tyrone Bigham saying it's like telling a F1 driver to use a GPS. That your comments make no sense on that one. That doesn't make any sense. Come on. Moving on from that one, Autodesk, please give me more shares over here. Come on, do I have to just slap the trade to the downside, or do they actually give me some fills? Market's trying to go back up again. UVXY, sorry, not UVXY, XLF, man, keeps on going. XLF up 3.8% on the day right now, 3.8% to the north side. Bank of America 6.5%, Wells Fargo 6%. Wells Fargo is really burning me at the moment. I have moved my stops up quite levels over here, but I think I have my stop now at the final level. Not gonna say where. If it hits, it hits, and we're gonna move on with that with trade overall. And we also have our Bank of America. Luckily, Bank of America is not actually doing what Wells Fargo is doing. It's trading sideways, showing us some resistance around those 36.20 levels that I was talking about. So that's still a good idea so far, man. Autodesk again moving back to the downside, or trying to, without giving me some fills. So let me actually just throw my order out there. There we go. We got the fill. Oh, they gave us both the fills right away. So we got more fills than we actually planned on getting at the moment on Autodesk. So that just means we hold on to this trade for the rest of the day. In case it doesn't work out, then you just move on from it. Looks like we might just be done with Brandon for the day. Is that right?
Yeah.
So Brandon, let's throw it on to you. Let's see if you have anything to wrap up for the day with.
No, I closed everything.
You closed it?
Yeah, so you can just put my face if you want. Yeah, okay, perfect. Yeah, thanks guys for having me. It was fun. We're going to do some kind of experiments with just having a bunch of traders pop on. So I hope you like everyone's unique perspective. And, we're all kind of different traders, which is cool. So you'll get to see a lot of different opinions. And yeah, give it up for Miss V. We all miss her here. But luckily, we still have Prad. So we're going to survive and thrive.
I don't know if it's lucky about that, bro.
I feel lucky.
Well, I'm lucky to have you guys come give me some company, give me some time to, share the mic and not be yelling at by myself. All right, Brankles.
All right,
take
bye,
care.
guys.
We'll see you next. I'll throw it back to my face. In the meantime, the other person can set up their desk however they plan on doing so. This will be your first time setting up your desk? Yeah, so this might take some time. So good luck with your troubles that you were gonna run into very soon over there. All right, where are we getting to next? We already talked about a couple of my positions. These might be my only positions that I'll be nursing on for the rest of the day. Let's see how these trades end up being. I'm actually thinking about throwing another order up here closer to my trade actually on Autodesk. I'm willing to risk a little bit more on Autodesk today in case it does go back higher, and then we can take the stop of where I was planning to take the stop. Let me just throw or get the order ready in case that order does come into play. We can take this. Okay, that'll be okay. Awesome. That'll be exactly that much size. Okay, now we're ready. Coming back to you guys, Apple testing high a day. Apple indeed most likely testing high a day, getting right back to that 142 areas because NASDAQ is now again back at 12K. S&P 500 trying to get to that 4K level today. We're still waiting to see when that stock actually breaks, or not stock, S&P 500 ETF actually breaks 4K, and if it manages to keep on ripping to the north side. Wells Fargo might just stop me out and be my real big negative stock of the day. Hopefully it doesn't right now. I'm just going to recreate my stop here one last time on this stock, and then we're going to be done with the recreating stops on this one. All right, there we go. Yeah, most likely just getting stopped on that. Well, I'm gonna take that loss on Wells Fargo, move on from it. Stock is clearly way too strong today to be trying to battle the short side. Thankfully, Bank of America is just trading sideways in that range where we're able to capitalize in case the market does come back to the downside. And by market, I'm talking about the financial ETF XLF. I'm not talking about the overall markets at the moment. Apple finally actually breaking 142 to the north side, 142.08 high a day. Let's see if Apple can extend this move to the north with the overall market, which is trying to battle 12K. If Apple does not manage to, or if market does not manage to get above 12K for the second, third time, then this Apple short 142, which we were part of before, could be another trade to take at right now. You know, you're giving it that risk of about maybe 10 cents to the north side of 142. I know 10 cents on Apple is nothing. You'll get blown out real quick on that Apple trade in a second in case if volume was to come in. But, you know, risking about that 10 cents to the north side above 142 for a possible move to the downside of even $1 to 141, even about 30 cents, 40 cents to the downside. That's the type of risk to reward that I would love to be a part of at the moment. I am reading the level 2. I am reading the time of sales. I'm seeing quite a bit of a battle happening around this level, so I'm just going to let it happen. More importantly, I want to see the battle that's taking place around 12K on the market. 12K once again getting rejected. We're seeing red candles come in on the 5-minute chart. Market's getting pushed back to the downside slowly, slightly, not really in a crazy fashion that you would think it is. And at the same time, XLF, thank you, Jesus. XLF getting ready to maybe push back to the downside over here. So that Wells Fargo that we're looking at might just finally give us a exit to the downside for some winning trades in case obviously it pushes back below 44. If Wells Fargo doesn't push back below 44, then I'm not really that excited about that trade because we'll be still out of the money with our average price of 43.86. Bank of America average price 36.03. And Autodesk average price of 181.19. I'm trying to get more short 182 at the moment. Sorry, on Autodesk. Are you ready?
Give me a second.
Give him a second more. No problem. Take your time. Take your time. Algo's on buy mode for Apple. I wouldn't doubt it. You know, Apple has been really destroyed, man. 132s is what I remember seeing. 133s is the low of day today. It says 133 off a dark pool. So most likely that's a Friday trade, Friday execution happening. And I'm expecting that, you know, Apple is getting bought out across the board by retail traders, by investors, by big money, because the same idea that I believe it was Friday that Sean and I were having a conversation over here for a little bit about how Apple is too big of a company. You know, how much of a value could Apple really lose from the highs? It's already lost about 25% recently, a little bit more than 25% maybe, but can Apple lose 50% from here is the main question, and I don't think it can. I don't think Apple loses a 50% from here, and based off of that mentality, just go long on Apple and ride the rocket ship to the moon in about 3 to 4 years time span is what people are thinking about. At least that's what I would be thinking about. Right now, Autodesk getting ready to give us our final entry at 182s or so. Where's our order at? 181.94. So we're actually on the mid prints and we're not even catching the final fill. No one wants. There we go. Finally caught the fill. Time to throw out my stop on Autodesk over here. Let's see if we give back whatever we made on Autodesk with this dollar per share risk we're giving, or does Autodesk push right back to the downside, giving us a beautiful short trade in front of 181.30s right now is our average price. So let me just do this real quick. 185, 183, 182 point. We'll do that. 182 point that, and then our size is that much. All right, We have our orders sent out. We have our trades sent out. We are ready for just the lunchtime now, which is absolutely do nothing time. Lunchtime, volume depreciation time. Market's about to lose a lot of volume in the market very soon. So that being said, though, NASDAQ actually took out 12K properly this time. Market taking out 12K, NASDAQ taking out 12K, which means Apple is getting elevated over here. Apple now breaking 142 properly. We're looking for an extension on Apple. 3% already up on Apple today. I'm guessing also AMD may be moving up. There we go. AMD breaking 94 now, getting to the north side. Maybe if market keeps on going up and doesn't stop, AMD 94 over here can actually keep on moving up to 95 and even 97 today. Let's see how high AMD can go after testing this high day right now that we're looking at. Algos going for lunch. Algos don't really go for lunch, yeah, but like, you know, it's still people will be heading out, and you'll be fighting algorithms. So that's where most of the losses come from, people. It's when you're trading against bots and algorithms. There's a reason why they coin it dumb money or retail money. That's where most of the morning flow is. The 9:30 to 11 o'clock flow, the retail flow, the dumb money flow is where people are trying to capitalize on most of the time. And without that flow at 12 o'clock, you're looking to get beat up by the bots. You good?
I'm good.
All right.
We'll find out.
Well, what's up, Ian?
Hi guys, how's it going? Thanks for having me. You guys know me. I've been on the show a handful of times now. But yeah, thanks for having me, guys. And we're interested. We're excited to do something different here with the midday show. And you know, obviously Miss V's irreplaceable. But we'll do our best to you know, create something different, a little bit more exciting, potentially, and we'll see where it goes. So yeah, let's talk about some of like my trades, I guess, today. You know, I took a few trades today. It's been a I'll say it's been a rough day for me. Actually, I'm not too proud of the way I traded this morning, but you know, that's okay. I'm not shut down or anything like that. Kept my losses like relatively small, and you know, live to tell the tale, and you know, hopefully get some trades maybe today on the show or later today towards the close. So I did trade AMD. That was like kind of like my bigger trades today, and it was my biggest loss. So yeah, I tried shorting it off these tops here, and you know, one of the biggest things that's like Greg always teaches us is like participate, don't anticipate, and I wasn't doing that today. Wasn't really trading like myself, just kind of shorting it here. Obviously stopped out, trying to catch the bottom here, stopped out. This was a good trade here long, but I was just kind of risking off low day and just wicked me out. So, you know, I can't really be too mad at that, but then it was like revenge trade here, short, stopped out. So after that, you know, it's like I'm just getting chopped up, so I'm just leaving that alone probably for the rest of the day. And then I traded Siga. Obviously, you know, Siga's been in play with the monkeypox news and whatnot. So this was actually some good trades for me today. So able to make back most of my losses here. So I took the initial 14 break. You know, so this is how we kind of build trading ideas, right? So again, 14 pre-market low, take that break. I did cover for like 20 cents here, but you know, it was a bigger position, so these are just meant to be like kind of quick scalps. Obviously in hindsight, cover way too early, but it is what it is. That was a solid winner. And then there was like that big news that happened on the morning show, where they said like monkeypox wasn't like going to be a serious pandemic or something like that. So, you know, obviously big, huge selling volume came in. So it actually turned SSR at that point. So it was kind of tough to kind of get a short in. But again, just being like super patient. And, you know, we were talking about level 2 reading a lot. So again, just kind of waiting for that size to pop up on the level 2. And it did kind of here in front of 1160. Yeah, 1160 here. So took the short in front of that and then just covered in front of 11, which was like kind of like an intraday support level from Friday. So solid trade there again. You know, I'm still negative on the day, but you know, it's important to kind of realize that you're not trading potentially that well. And you know, you gotta lay off a bit and take some risk off for sure. So that's kind of me today. And I took a small trade on AMC that didn't really, it was like a small loser, but yeah, that was it for me this morning.
Not bad at all, man. Yeah, it's okay to have a bad day. You know, you're not gonna win every single day, but more importantly, it's always a better way to do what you're doing. It's just just be hands off. You're not having a good day. You're not hot. Just be hands off. There's always tomorrow. The goal of the game is to come back and be able to trade tomorrow. If you're not able to trade tomorrow, then you're kind of knocked out of the game, and that's where the downside starts coming into play. I just got kicked out of my Bank of America short. So Bank of America trying to keep on going north over here. Might be time to just take the loss on Wells Fargo too. Wells Fargo keeps on moving higher. XLF has been so strong today, almost up 4% on the day. Oh, look at that. Looks like Wells Fargo actually stopped me out itself instead of me having to stop myself out. So I'll take that one on there. Right now, the only trade we can work with looks like is Autodesk. So Autodesk moving up a little bit more to the north side, trying to be our only trade for the day. Looks like somehow Autodesk managed to return quite a bit of a way over here to the north side. So we're gonna let Autodesk move around a little bit more. If Autodesk wants to give us more size, maybe in front of what, 124, 123s or so. 100 period EMA right now coming in at 123 flat. We're looking at 182.40s. Let's go check out Autodesk over here. Wait, what is this? Bank of America? Ooh, yeah, okay. What is this line that I have drawn over here near 36? Oh, that's this line, 36.22. Right now we're trading near 36.22. So the break of 36.22 stopped me out on that trade. Watch it be the high of day, and me getting stopped out on the exact area where the stock chart starts to turn around, which would be obviously very sad to watch it happen if that ends up being the story for that one. Right now, we're looking for some stocks that you guys are looking at. NKLA. Let's go take a look at NKLA today. Up 3.5% on the day with 4 million shares traded overall. Still trying to, we're very range bound over here on NKLA compared to the past. That is, well, how many days have we been here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. So until we really break out of the 650 to the high side, or even $6 to the downside, I don't really see a trade for myself on NKLA. So I'm just gonna have to leave that one alone. I'm taking one last short over here, a short attempt on Bank of America, simply because that 36.20 level is the level that I wanted to be a part of. So 3 tries and we're out. We took 2 tries already, I believe. We'll take this one last try, give it that extra wiggle room past 36 to see if we're actually good, on the right direction of that trade. Right now, XLF trying to push back to the downside slightly, so maybe we can turn this trade into a pretty big of a winner for us by getting a better average price than previously having. Our previous average price was around 36 or something. Now we're at 36.18, so better price for our stop, so allowing me to take more size for this entry and let's see if we can actually work with it to the down move. Right now though, market is indeed up 1.6%, and by market I'm looking at the Nasdaq at the moment. Nasdaq above 12k, clearing 12k for the final time over here, and actually looking to the green direction, and S&P 500 up almost 2 beautiful percent, and trying to go even more than that. I think S&P 500 can actually see 4K today. I'm trying to see what the number is over there. 39.80 is the high a day right now on the S&P 500. Let's see if 39.80 can come into play 4K come into play for the S&P 500 at the moment.
Yeah, some levels that we were looking at on the ES there. Yeah, 39.80 definitely. Reclaim this 3900 level. That was huge. Just from last week, if we're going to scroll back, this is a 3-minute chart. There was this huge move on Friday, right? So it just kind of reversed the entire move, and then it reclaimed this 3900. And then here today, we're opening above that, and then even testing that at the open, or like around like 9:30, 9:45ish. And then we're just like ripping to the top side, right? So, there's no doubt that today is a solid bounce day, right? So, I was trying to short things in the morning. Obviously, it wasn't correct. But if we're looking at like some of the big cap stocks, some of the large tech stocks, I saw someone call out Tesla. So let's take a quick look at that. They said that Tesla ripped through VWAP and is holding above. Yeah, you are absolutely correct. So obviously that's a huge sign of strength. Tesla was down, almost 10%. Or it was down at 10% at one point because I went SSR there on Friday. But yeah, getting back a little bit, but obviously key is that 650 level. So that 650 level was huge on Friday, huge short for us here on the floor, and it's reclaimed that level and now holding above VWAP. So potentially if it can close above that 700, get up to that 700 again, start testing that, maybe break above, there's going to be some good strength that comes into Tesla there, and hopefully it can reverse a lot of this move. It's crazy to think, like I was looking at like the dailies and the weekly chart on Tesla, and Tesla's like 46% off its highs, like from a few months ago, right? It's insane to think, but this is like kind of the world that we live in. We have to like adapt and take what we can get. Just kind of looking here through the chat here, GOVX. I think that's one of the monkeypox plays, right, Prad?
Yeah.
Let's bring that up here. It wasn't really on my radar today, just because it's a little bit, a smaller price stock, and I'm not too used to trading those quite yet. But it was funny because Neil mentioned that this wasn't really trading in sympathy with Siga, and it's interesting because if they're both monkeypox plays, technically they should be trading in sympathy. So it's kind of just like pick your poison and see what's working for you. If you like to trade these, trade this more, or see which opportunities come across on each stock. But yeah, this reclaimed VWAP, but still not breaking out those higher days, right? The higher day looks like it was like 225-ish. So if it breaks through there and some momentum comes back into these names, we could look for a potential long play. But for now, I'm probably just gonna stay away from this.
Yeah, the low float stocks are a little scary. Also, we've seen how vaccination plays go in the market. So for the vaccination plays overall, we just gotta wait and see it in terms of how infectious this new monkeypox can go into, and the research behind it. Of also, how much of the monkeypox can be helped with the help of the chickenpox cure that we already have that's existing in the world so far. I'm looking at my positions. What is it? Autodesk still hanging out exactly where we were previously, and Bank of America trying to go back to the north side one more time. So that's not a good thing for me. Overall, market is indeed working its hardest to stay in the green territory overall and not really pushing to the downside. So still looking like the market wants to keep on pushing the north side today overall. Let's see what Apple is doing currently. AAPL.
Someone mentioned Lucid as well. I'll talk about that after you're done with
Sure.
Apple.
Apple at the moment 142 high day. Sorry, no, 143.26. Is that even accurate? 143.26. I don't think I even see that. But it is 143.26 high day on Apple. Apple trying to keep on ripping to the north side, baby. Can we actually get back above 143 here and go test a little bit higher above 143 is the question now. I'm not sure if obviously this time of the day where volume is supposed to be decreasing, we're only 16 minutes into lunchtime. So maybe volume will start looking to decrease soon, and market starts normalizing a little bit, going sideways or something. Not sure what to expect just yet. We're just getting ready for anything the market can present us with. I think it's presenting us with some down move right now, at least. NASDAQ, I'm watching NASDAQ push back to the downside. I'm adding back to my Bank of America short here, trying to see. I really want to push Bank of America to the downside, at least by a little bit. That way we can capitalize on this big move that Bank of America has already had by having a reversal trade. It's kind of breaking my rule here. I'm shorting a stock that's up 7% on the day. I'm battling the trend and I'm getting beat up a little bit over here, but hopefully if we're right on this trade, and yeah, you're never supposed to be using the words such as hope and so on. We mention that all the time. I say that all the time myself, but that is what I'm having to do right now. Work for me a little bit over here. Trade Autodesk has still been a beauty of a trade, not really getting up to 183. So once Autodesk goes above $183, we'll be done with that trade. So right now we're still working with that one. That's been a beauty of a trade so far, and we're trying to make that another beauty of a trade later on in the day. Let's go take a look at AMD at the moment. AMD trying to come back under 94. So looks like AMD did try to push to the pre-market highs of 94.50, failed to do so to get above the pre-market high of 94.50. Now the shorts are coming back into play slightly. Let's see if 12K holds on NASDAQ. We're above 16 points. We're about 16 points above 12K at the moment. Maybe that 12K level actually ends up holding on NASDAQ, allowing you to get the longs into your Apples and your AMD still, and not having to be too worried about that one just yet. New supply zone 3953, 3953. We're pretty close to 3953. Yeah, it looks like 3960, 3953 areas could come into a support area. I do have a level around 3955, so I understand why you're saying that number. Makes sense for me. Overall, I think NASDAQ 12K is more important of a level at the moment, and 4K on S&P 500. Just being patient for that 4K level on S&P 500 would probably be very beneficial for us. And NASDAQ 12K we already broke 12K to the high side today. I'm expecting 12K to hold a little bit longer when we do come back down over here to test the support.
You're lucky that Arun's not here, eh? You're breaking a lot of rules. He might throw the slipper at you.
Arun's not touching me, right? Arun's not touching me. He could try all he wants. Arun's not touching me.
Yeah, someone mentioned Lucid a while ago, and you said reminded us here. Let's take a look at Lucid. Obviously an EV play, but whenever like Tesla is kind of in the mix, you got to kind of look at all the EVs, and they can potentially catch some momentum. So this is just like a daily. So I'm particularly interested in Lucid as well. Just if you guys don't know, my girlfriend kind of works there, so no, she does work there. So I'm always keeping an eye on the company. But 17 level was a big level on the daily, and if we scroll back here, it's like tested a few times. So I was like personally watching that, and you see like it's just about sticking to these levels and generating trading ideas around them. So once it breaks down, you got a potential short on your hands because there's not much support below. You see how that happened. Obviously there was a big bounce with the market rally sort of thing, but once it reclaims that level, it kind of chops around again. And 20 is obviously a huge psychological level as well. So you look at the half hour here. You see how like once it reclaims 17, it's just been kind of chopping back and forth. So there's not really any like big trade ideas generated around that. You could always kind of trade the range. So longing in front of 17 and kind of bouncing off that up towards this 20 level again. But you see it rejects 20 again, right? And back down testing 17. So until it starts, like me personally, until it starts like the breakout from 20 or break down again from 17, if we get some weakness, then I might start looking at it. But unless you're really strict with your rules and your disciplines, it's an easy way to get kind of chopped up when you're trading within the range like that. So that's Lucid. AMD, like we mentioned a couple times, super strong. I'll bring that up on the daily. It's been weird because last week it was like really, really strong, and obviously broke above 100, but couldn't really hold above 100. And once it got below it, it rejected that level. And then obviously there's that big down day, free fall Fridays, as we like to say. Sometimes, AMD wasn't immune to that as well. So it got a little bit of bounce, and, getting a little bit of bounce here today, but, we'll see if it can test $100. Obviously $100 is a huge level for AMD. Someone said Tesla is about starting to run again. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, it looks like a little bit of buying volume coming in, but the high a day is actually 695. Is that real? No, it looks like a wick, but 680. If that breaks out, then obviously real buying momentum could pour in, and we'll see where that goes. NIO, talking to all these EVs now. NIO is a good stock too. It gives us some good solid momentum moves. Oh, that's NY. My bad. Actually, I have it right here. Yeah, no, NIO was in the news on Friday, I believe, Friday morning. It got introduced to the Singapore index, so it got a little bump in the morning, but then it kind of faded. And then obviously it was weak this morning. Sean was mentioning that as well. Got below this 16 level. That would have been a nice short if you like taking even dollar breaks like we kind of do here at the firm. But again, still kind of holding these lows and just kind of trading the range. So that's a good sign that it's not kind of selling off. It's holding up. So, look, hopefully if it comes back, then, some momentum come back in that name. Someone said coin. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, coin having a strong day as well, kind of giving a bounce back. Again, since that big dip last week, it's been kind of bouncing around. But, today, very similar to that like Tesla chart and a lot of these big cap tech stocks, they're kind of coming back and showing strength above VWAP. They're kind of trading in sympathy. They're more like higher beta names, trading in sympathy with the overall market. So some good strength in these names, some relief. I don't know if the bear market is over quite yet. That would have been like the shortest lived bear market ever. It was lasted like an hour there on Friday, but we'll see. We'll see for sure. Zoom meeting. Zoom is their earnings are today, so it's going to be something interesting to watch. I'm actually going to bring up the daily because I pinned a nice level on Zoom that I'll be watching after earnings. So 80. Actually, if we scroll all the way back, I'll bring up the daily here. Scroll all the way back. The IPO price was 60, right? And I'm looking at 80 just because it was like this previous low that was made May 12th, so like last week or whatever. So if the earnings are bad, and we do take a plunge like what we've kind of been seeing quite frequently with these big cap earnings stocks, potentially looking to play off that tomorrow morning or potentially even after hours. We'll see. Shorting the NASDAQ, I think we close under 11,700. Yeah, potentially. The market's just not going to rip all day. I like watching the ES. Prad likes watching the NASDAQ. The ES, yeah, this is like pretty strong move. This is almost like not a parabolic move because there's still these dips here, but it's a strong move and the trend is clearly up. So, but it's not going to go all day, right? So looking for. Don't anticipate the top. Don't try to pick the top. But once the trend kind of changes, then you could start looking to the short side. What do you got, Prad? You got anything you're looking at right now?
Yeah, because you were talking about Coinbase over there. I was just taking a look at the cryptocurrencies overall. So Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, the whole basket of cryptocurrencies. Today on the green side, let's go. Cryptocurrencies getting back to the green slightly. Still range bound between 31 and 28K so far. Not really back to those ranges we're used to seeing, which is above 40K and the levels that we want to see, which is near 100K and so on. Still quite a bit of a way out for cryptocurrencies, but very nice to see a small relief rally, I guess you could call it, coming in for this market. Obviously, if cryptocurrencies are moving to the north side, that takes Coinbase a little bit. Coinbase is still stuck in that same range that I have drawn out since the earnings day, so between 70 and 60, just giving you unlimited scalp opportunities, short near 71 and 72 and long near 60, and just keep on trading between the range for Coinbase. Today up 3% along with the overall cryptocurrency market, and looks like the market might just try to wake up over here. I know a lot of people are expecting the market to have maybe established somewhat of a bottom over here after going down for so long. So let's see if the market actually established the bottom or not. Right now, Bank of America and Wells Fargo, after stopping me out, seems to want to go to the downside over here. So let's see if that is the story that'll end up playing out with the banks stocks, which have been on an absolute tear today, on an absolute monster rip to the north side. Let's also go take a look at a firm. I know Sean was trading a firm currently coming to the downside still. Here's a firm. Where's VWAP on my chart? So let me just quickly change the color of this one to red. Now it's easier for me. We'll delete this VWAP from here. We'll copy this guy and paste it over here. Awesome. And so VWAP right here, as you guys can see, 24.35 on the 5-minute for a firm. We're pretty much right next to VWAP. We're at VWAP actually, and trying to get ready to go higher, or sorry, trying to get ready to go lower, even though the market has been green for the most part. So 1.62% on Nasdaq, 1.8% on the S&P 500. Still very close to 12K. XLF starting to curl to the downside over here. Still small curls that we've seen in XLF, not a real curl. So let's see if XLF starts pushing the downside or not. How can a firm go lower? Just by sellers coming in and selling the stock and selling the stock and selling the stock, it just goes lower that way. Unless buyers come in and buy the stock and buy the stock and buy the stock, then it goes higher. It's simple buyers and sellers mechanic. Come on and move UPST. If I only had the power to do something like that, my friend, I sadly don't. 10K share on GOVX at $2.10. GOVX. Let's go check out GOVX. Level 2s are not important, guys. So we're just going to look at charts now. Level 2s are not important, right? But GOVX, let's go take a look at GOVX. 2.28 currently. You said, where is it at? It's at 210.
I think it got taken.
It got taken,
yeah.
Oh, so it was on the way up. So on the way up, 10 to 2.10. Currently 2.28. Trying to go higher. No, currently 2.06. The high day is 2.28. That sounds more accurate. Let's see how high can this one go. Sell side on GOVX. It's forming a pretty good range above VWAP though. Let's see if buyers can come in and hold it above there. With lunchtime coming into play still, or lunchtime being in play this whole time. There we go. Wells Fargo actually pushing the downside now, and so is Bank of America without me. That's perfect. I love seeing that. Nasdaq coming down to 12K, still 20 points above 12K though for Nasdaq. So waiting to see how tech stocks behave off of that move. I'm guessing Apple's getting pushed down here. Apple. Ooh, what line is that? And where's that line coming from? This happens to be this day's low. So Apple pretty much touching this day's low over here, 13th May, and getting pushed down. Let's see. Oh, that's a pretty big push down on Apple from there. I wish I had known that I have this line already mapped out. I would have probably taken a trade out of that. Sadly, nope, no trade for me right now because we missed out on that move. Darn it, I had that level mapped out already.
Don't you hate it when that happens? It's just like you map out all these levels, and then it's like you feel like a god after, because it looks like your levels bounce right off, and it's like you're the perfect trader, perfect. You're great at technical analysis, but it's different to like kind of press the buttons. I wanted to touch back on GOVX here because we mentioned there was size on a 10K size order. It's always relative, right? So you see this here, like 253 lots at 205, right? Like if you do that's 25,000 shares or whatever, but it's on a $2 stock, right? So it doesn't mean as much as it would if you saw that on like something like Apple or Microsoft or something like that. So just kind of keep that in mind when you are trading off the level 2. Looking for a bounce off 197-ish. If you're looking to play a VWAP bounce, it bounced there earlier, not too long ago, like just after 12. So it's a good level to kind of risk off of, right? But just keep in mind, like VWAP is a pretty obvious level, right? So a lot of traders, like obviously most traders use VWAP. So if you're kind of placing your stop just below, you could get easily wicked out. So just kind of keep that in mind if you could like to trade off VWAP. What else we got here? Can you look at low? So that's lows. Let's bring that up here. Yeah, Lowe's looks like it's reporting earnings. Oh, in August. So that's still a ways away. But it's been kind of similar to these other retail stocks, right? Kind of getting beaten down with the overall market. But looks like 180 is potentially a level, and this is how we kind of build levels. Obviously, it's tested 180 back here. That was way back a couple years ago. Hold at 180 here, obviously breaking out, and then it's held above since, right? But now where we test back again, 180, right? It's it's not easy, or it's not hard to kind of see these levels, right? But it's about having the conviction surrounded around them. So if we go down to like a lower time frame here, it's actually bounced off 180 twice just on Friday there, right? So you could have been, playing it if Lowe's was on your radar today. It wasn't really on our radar today. I don't think it had too much news or volume or whatever, but you could have generated a trading idea about going long above 180 and short below. So again, just when in doubt, zoom out. That's what we kind of always say. And kind of go from there. Market rolling over a bit. Yeah, I kind of noticed that too. Some selling coming in here, 39.80. It looks like it didn't break out on the ES, and then it's breaking down. I pinned some levels on the ES, so let's just bring that up. Always like to kind of look at the ES or MES, the same thing, to kind of gauge what kind of bias we can potentially have for the day. So obviously 39.80, I charted that last week just from these lows over here, and that's kind of where we just turned around, right? So there is no like real coincidence with this. Levels always kind of get respected, right? So if we bring it up to the lower time frame here, let's take a look. Bouncing off, but yeah, 39.40, 39.60, like these are all kind of like in the range, right? So 39.80 to, I would say even like 3900. But yeah, it looks like it's falling back. I wouldn't say uptrend over quite yet, because real selling hasn't really like came in too hard, but yeah, maybe potentially time to start taking some profits on some longs if you have them. Short Nasdaq 12, trying to see. Yeah, for sure. I mean, stick to your trading ideas. If that's what your plan was in the morning, stick to it, right? What else we got here?
I could take over.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. So someone in the chat just messaged and said SOXL is negative. What? I mean, obviously, different ETF, different than the market, does not actually have to follow the overall market. And I'm looking over here as to... So VMware was surged up by 21% in pre-market trading following multiple reports that it's an advanced stock to be bought out by the chip maker Broadcom, which is 9% 9% weightage of the SOXX ETF, which is your semiconductor ETF. Semiconductor ETF today on the day so far, well, SOXL was negative. What is SOXX, which is the one I would be looking at if I was looking at ETFs? So SOXX, which is the one that actually holds the stocks in it and is not 3 times leveraged on either direction, which is the one I would be staring at. It is in the negative direction, and the stocks that are inside of it are Broadcom, Nvidia, AMD, Intel, Qualcomm. So most of these stocks are kind of weak at the moment. So we saw AMD already be weak today, with the market coming back to the downside right now. AMD, I'm expecting it to go back into the red territories very soon. Right back under 94 goes AMD. So that barrier at 94.50 on AMD still acting as a pretty tough wall to get past on, even though the Nasdaq has gotten above 12K up to 2060, and that 39.80 level that S&P that Ian was talking about the S&P 500 still acting as a barrier. So multiple barriers to the north side on the market, not allowing positions to really rip past as you are expecting it to. Hence SOXL, which is the one you're looking at for some reason. I would look at SOXX, to be honest. Is in the red territories. Some of the other stocks that we could talk about that are on the watch list over here are Corning Glass, the glass maker that makes your cell phones, glasses, and so on, the screens for at least for some of the cell phones. And they also make a lot of other glass products over there for televisions and whatnot. So Corning, which is GLW, Corning slid down 2.5% from a downgrade from Citibank. So even with that downgrade, Corning moved up pretty well off the open, ripped up off the 33 level all the way up to 34, giving you $1 per share almost, and now a slight reversal coming in near 34.01. I can look at this consolidation, highs near 34. We have this lows at 33.50 and highs at 34, and hence the stock managed to just bounce within that range overall and trade sideways, in my opinion. Still, even with the 2% bump up today. Still stuck in previous ranges and nothing really exciting coming in. Maybe we can look for a possible breakout of 34 to the north side, but I doubt that breakout will happen because the stock is now going through a downgrade coming in from Citibank. So even with the downgrade, they moved up. Another stock that we can talk about is EA Sports. EA Sports thinking about getting bought out by Disney, Apple, or Amazon. They are in talks with Disney, Walmart, or Amazon. Not Walmart, sorry. Disney, Apple, or Amazon in order to sell. Anyway, shareholders reported that the company was actively seeking a buyer or a merger partner. So they're looking to get Activision on their end over there, trying to sell off a portion of their company, or most of it, or all of it, or get merged all over in general. So EA Sports trying to join the competitor side of gaming, which is Activision joining Microsoft and trying to become a bigger conglomerate. At the moment, what we're noticing is the market just having a stalemate near 12K. We got slightly under 12K, but not markets trying to most likely hold 12K over here. I might, oh man, we're already popped up from there, so we're actually not going to be looking at that anymore. Moving on from the market real quick, let's go take a look at what other positions you guys are talking about. EA Sports, if it's in the game, it's in the game. All right, cool. Insight for UVXY. Let's go check out what UVXY is doing at the moment. UVXY currently going to the downside still. We do have that bottom at $15.40. You know, UVXY has been forming a pretty strong bottom in front of 1540, 1550 all day. The fact that the market went higher and UVXY didn't really take out the slow is a good thing. I think we see support again coming in for UVXY maybe at 15, but keep in mind technicals don't really apply for this ETF. Most of its moves just come from the volatility of options writing and other variables included into it. And when the market goes up, most part UVXY is supposed to go to the downside. Today down 2.75%. So the opposite direction trade is indeed playing out for UVXY overall. If market finds a way to go to the downside, or if UVXY figures out a way to go back to $16 or so, that's not really a good thing for the market, obviously. So just got to be waiting patiently to see what happens in the next 2 hours. We have about 20 minutes over here on market movers, sorry. In those 20 minutes, we're waiting to see where the volume will load into on the market and what positions will start moving around so we can take advantage of said positions.
Did Brandon do his little VIX rant on the show? Did he talk about the VIX earlier?
He did, yeah.
Yeah, he did, yeah. So just wanted to kind of touch on that. Like, it's important to, when you're kind of playing those inverse plays like UVXY or VIX, the levels on the VIX mean a little bit more than the levels on the UVXY. So kind of just keep that in mind. I want to talk about ROST. Someone said, can you talk about that again? ROST obviously had that big gap down after earnings. And this is the daily, guys. So it kind of held this 70. But unlike other retail stores that kind of, or retail stocks that gap down after earnings, this one kind of caught a bid and there's been lots of like buying momentum upwards. So we go down to the lower time frames. It held that 70 quite nicely, never broke below it. Let's actually look at the 5-minute here. And then the 74 level is what we were kind of like pinpointing today. And that broke out now and it's trading above that and obviously above VWAP, so it's very strong. But what's important to note about these earnings plays, when there's a large gap down like this, there's this huge gap. Right, so in that gap, there's kind of like no man's land. So technically speaking, if a lot of momentum or a lot of strong buy momentum came in, this can run all the way back to like this 85 level, right? Just from these lows over here. So you know, if every day if some sort of momentum comes back into this, you could always just kind of play off high a day here. So like 79 breakout, for example, and you know, see how far it can go. Thoughts on BBIG? Let's quickly take a look at that. I haven't taken a look at this stock in a while. Let's bring up the daily first. Always kind of like to start in the daily and see what kind of trading ideas we can come up from there. It looks like just kind of consolidating, trading a big range. This is like the 200-day moving average, so kind of below that. So it's still kind of weak, but yeah, probably wouldn't really trade that today. AMD packing. Let's see else here. STNG, what's that? And guys, if you want to talk about any stocks, just shoot them out and let's take a look. But STNG, not too sure what this stock is, but obviously strong momentum today. Let's take a look at the half hour. Looks like this 2850 was a low, like a multi-day low or a multi-day level. So it's easy to kind of like build trading ideas off those and long off that. Snap. Let's take a look at that. So Snap was another kind of beaten down stock after earnings. But again, still kind of holding these levels. And as long as the market kind of holds up, these tech stocks will hold up as well. Tilray, interested in your thoughts. Let's take a look. The weed stocks, they're in the news and they have a lot of momentum, like briefly, but then they just kind of like fade off, which is like kind of like a signal of weakness. But four held, this $4 level held. So above that, I'm obviously going to be a little bit more bullish. But if it gets below that or kind of just fades below that, then it's gonna be weakness in my book. So. Again, probably wouldn't trade it unless there's like a lot of momentum or some news comes out. Then we kind of gravitate to the weed names. But it's always important to try to trade like something with a catalyst, right? Let's see. Time to buy UVXY now. Yeah, maybe. Let's take a look. So the market kind of making a top here, 39.80, right? So we mentioned this level like a handful of times now, just since I've been on the show, and it hasn't kind of broken above that. Obviously, lunchtime volume kind of dies off, right? So I wouldn't necessarily put on like a huge position right now, because we're kind of just like the market's just kind of lulling itself to sleep right now. But if momentum starts to pick up and maybe some of these downside levels break, so like obviously I'm looking at 39.65, 39.60. If that starts to really kind of break down, then yeah, if you're trying to play the inverse play, then yeah, go long on UVXY.
Tilray still hasn't turned a profit, and guess what? It will never turn a profit. Okay, maybe never say never, but we've talked about these comments enough about how weed stocks move and how their products are at a complete discount and whatnot. I see people talking about Costco in the chat not too long ago, so let's go take a look at Costco today. Costco has dumped quite a bit of its gain. Costco has been trading at the all-time high mark along with its partner in crime, which is Walmart. Walmart and Costco have been trading together for the most part, but with Walmart and Target's earnings report coming out not too long ago, we saw how that story played out. So let's quickly go over to Walmart over here. This is Walmart after earnings report. This is Target after earnings report. So Costco, which basically does the same thing as those two companies, got pushed down before their earnings report even comes out. Costco's earnings report is on the 26th of May after hours. Do we have an earnings board right now? I'm not sure if we have anyone creating an earnings board because sadly we don't have Miss V. So if I'm not even sure if I'm allowed to. We do? I just want the board. Can I get the link for the board? Oh, okay. So no worries. Costco. So Costco earnings report coming out on the 26th of May after market. So what day is it today? The 23rd today. So on the Thursday after hour. Ooh, and Friday. We know Friday is a big day. We got some options expiring end of the month. We got the rebalance day on Friday. So multiple. Tomorrow's Zoom. ZM. So let's go take a look at Zoom ZM tomorrow after hours. Oh, it says it's after the bell today. It says June for me over here. Let's actually go confirm. Today, so. Let's go confirm over here. Yeah. Earnings report, calendar. Yeah, Zoom after hours today after 4 o'clock, 4:05 actually. So that's something we got to watch out for. We do know that Zoom has been one of my best call out shorts ever besides Peloton. So Zoom, I'm very happy watching the stock go to the ground. Go burn to the ground, please. You have no valuable software if you ask me. There's companies that do the same thing that you do for free, charge you free $99 and do it better. So I understand it's a corporate. What's that thing that you guys mentioned last time for DocuSign? It's a. I'm putting in quotes because that's exactly what it is to me. It's a corporate norm. It's a corporate norm. You can make a corporate gnome Google Meets, which is free. You can make a bunch of other softwares, which is absolutely free, or corporate gnome. You don't have to pay tons of money just because they advertise themselves to be the king of the field back in the day, back during during the COVID era. So all things combined, Zoom deserves this move that it's happening right now. Actually deserves to go right back to that marker of IPO price and even lower than that, if you ask me. But overall, let's see how the earnings report actually comes out. Right now, as you guys can see down here, see how many greens they have on the earnings report? That's all from the COVID era. And then over here, even this earnings report was green. So surprisingly enough, they are beating the estimates on the earnings report. But the overall idea was they were losing a ton of subscription base, people going back into companies to work, such as for ourselves over here. During COVID, we were actually not even allowed to be in the office, and you know, we missed out on some good opportunities like that. But now office is back. You guys can see how the office is full. Before, the office was empty. So Zoom is also losing a business on that side of the world, which is world opening back up. I can't wait to see what the earnings report will come out for these guys, so I could stand on top of the mountain and say I told you so. Or maybe I get beat up on my call out this time and be like, all right, Prad, no longer you are allowed to be bearish on this position. Watch this stock rip up to $100. All things considered, you guys know I don't trade options without the information coming out. So we gotta wait until 4:05 today. If the earnings report is at 4:05 today, if it's not at today, and if it's what TradingView says it is, which is approximately 1st June, then if it's around then we just gotta wait for that time.
Prad, you're catching some hate over here in the chat just for Zoom. It's important to know, guys, we're not beating up on the company or anything like that. We're kind of just like looking at the chart and telling.
Oh no, I'm beating up the company. you might not be beating up the company, but
maybe Prad has like a little personal vendetta against Zoom for whatever reason. But no, like we're just kind of looking at the chart and telling you guys how what we kind of see, right? You know, these companies been getting beat up on these earnings plays, right? So we're just kind of looking at levels and seeing what if these levels can potentially get into play, right? If Zoom comes out and has like insanely positive earnings and it rips up like plus 20%, you know, then we'll be looking at top side levels, right? But you know, that's what we kind of always say, like don't kind of anticipate that Zoom is going to have a bad earnings and, you know, get short now or load up on puts kind of thing, right? So that's an easy way to kind of get burned, right? So just wait to be patient, and, you know, you only have to wait a few hours for this earnings report to come out, and we'll see where it takes us, right? And go from there. Cost, obviously, we were talking a little bit about that. Cost looks like it's been having positive earnings recently too, but again, just retail kind of beat up. I know it kind of got beat up a little bit. People were like, there's a rumor going around that they're increasing the size or the price of their hot dogs. I don't think that's true. I think like the CEO said he'd like die before he increased the price of his hot dogs before. But yeah, that would be quite funny if they did. I think it's out of my price range after that. You know, I'm still a trainee. I haven't made that big grad paycheck yet. But again, just looking at 400, that's probably a big level to see if there is a bad earnings, if it does gap down again, then, you know, that 400 level can be in play. It's crazy how these levels haven't been tested in like over a year, right? So that's just kind of a testament to see like what kind of market we're kind of in right now. It is tough, guys. So, you know, if you're kind of getting beat down or whatever in your long term, you're not the only one. Believe me, you're not the only one. Let's see. I hate a firm. Oh man, what has a firm done to you? Tesla is pissing me off. Got removed for GE. What you got, Prad?
Yeah, so Tesla, people are talking about Tesla being removed from the ESG top 500. It's just a different index. It's not the same index such as the S&P 500 top 500. But, you know, that doesn't really mean much to me, man. You know, it's Tesla's too big of a company. Them removing it from there, whatever their reasons are, until they remove it from the S&P 500, I really don't care about that news. That news doesn't have too much of a weightage for me on that one. Moving on from that one, BBY is being called out. Best Buy. Why is Best Buy being called out?
I think Best Buy's earnings is this week too.
That's right. So probably because the earnings report's tomorrow or today. So it looks like it's tomorrow, 24th of May earnings report. Last time Best Buy's earnings report came out, I did mention the short for people and look at the play that they came out with. The overall idea why I mentioned the short for Best Buy is because supply chain issues. Every time I've been to a Best Buy, they've never had the products I wanted to. So this headphones that I wanted to buy, Best Buy didn't have it. I have a bunch of other technology that I've been planning to buy that Best Buy didn't have it. You know what? They have it on backlog, so I can order it and pay 20 bucks more to buy it from Best Buy. Instead, I can just go directly to Sony and get it free shipping and 20 bucks less, or I can go to Amazon and get it for 50 bucks less and free shipping, right? So companies like Best Buy are burning themselves to the ground these days by charging you extra. I know they have this whole price match nonsense, but that's my anger about it. I don't have to. Why is it my job to scrounge the internet, look for the best prices there are, and then find it? Isn't that your job to tell me that this is the price at Radio Shack, or this is the price at Future Shop, which they bought out, and now this is the new price? So I will never be a fan of Best Buy. I will always go directly to the retailers these days. That's part of the reason why I'm not a Foot Locker fan anymore either. If I want to buy shoes, I go directly to Nike.com. If I want to buy a laptop, I go directly to Dell.com or MSI.com or whatever it is. I no longer go directly to Best Buy for any of my computer parts. And hence on that, I know then people want to talk about how Best Buy has appliances. Well, I don't even want to get into that argument at the moment. Your job is to sell computers and technology, and you're failing to do that. If you're failing to do your core business, that's game over from there on. It's literally game over. It's going to be the new Blockbuster. People have no reason to go into stores anymore to buy laptops, because you don't need to talk to a Geek Squad person to learn about a computer. You can watch a YouTube video. You can watch a YouTube video, learn about that PC, learn about the parts, and get all the information you want ever without having to ever put a foot into your Best Buy store. So based on those reasons, until Best Buy figures out how to revamp their marketing plan a little bit, until Best Buy figures out the supply chain issues they've been having for God knows how long now, I am going to be bearish on Best Buy. Obviously, as Ian mentioned not too long ago, wait for the earnings report to come out. It's fine to have your preconceived notions and your theories and your opinions, but you got to wait for the trade to actually present itself. You don't jump into the trade with just your theory and then get ready to get burned. You jump into the trade once that theory has been proven with scientific tests, such as buyers coming in, the earnings report comes out bad, or sellers coming in, the earnings report comes out bad. Whatever it is, wait for the key information to actually drop, and then decide off of that to see if your thesis actually has something behind it of value or not.
Playmaker said something funny in the chat. He says, "Don't buy appliances at Best Buy. It's like buying seafood at a hamburger place." That's that's a good analogy, honestly. But yeah, you know, it's kind of sad to see that these brick and mortar stores are kind of getting like hit super hard after these retail earnings plays coming out. But you know, it is what it is, right? It's like after COVID, like everyone's just started shopping online and, you know, stopped going to stores. It's just the reality of it, right? And the stores that have failed to kind of like adapt to that sort of like scenario in the world are getting hurt. And you know, we're seeing like a live reaction in the stock market, right? And I kind of always say that the stock market is like real time supply and demand of these stores, and you know, like what the current state of the world is in, right? So like obviously if negative news comes out, you see a negative negative reaction in the stock market, right? So you know, just like I said, just wait till the earnings comes out and kind of go from there. Let's see what else. Let's go Apple sell.
You want me to take over?
Yeah, go for it.
Right now, Wells Fargo and Bank of America pushing back to the downside at the moment. So here goes Wells Fargo, here goes Bank of America. Both of them after hitting that. It sucks that I had the trade so dead to right, but my improper sizing and my couple other reasons behind it got me kicked out of this trade overall, and now we're not part of it anymore. But you know, we had the trade so dead to right, that 36.22 level. Even Wells Fargo, the 44.20 level went up to 44.30. Now coming back to the downside, $44.07 on Wells Fargo. Looks like the XLF ETF, the financial ETF, finally curling. Also, I had that trade dead to right. So multiple reasons why I was in part of that into that bank shorts, but I just traded it so poorly that I'm not part of it anymore. And it's something to put into my notes for sure. We can put that into my notes and learn from that trade for the next time, because we would have absolutely smoked these trades if we traded it a little bit proper to plan. So missed out on that opportunity. We need you parlay tonight, Trader Prad.
You got any bets for tonight or what?
I do actually have bets for tonight. Actually, let's go check out real quick. Canada.sportsbook.com. Let me hide my email, because last time you guys spammed me with the, you know, these guys are rude, man. They spam me with Weight Watchers advertisements.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, they spam me with Weight Watcher advertisements. They spam me with Roku newsletters.
The camera's deceiving, guys, okay? Present tremendous shape.
Roku newsletters, but because before Zoom and Peloton were on my hate watch list, it was Roku. Right? So Roku was on my hate watch list. So they spam me with Roku newsletters. And then after Roku Roku came back, and then it was Peloton. They signed me up to Peloton. They signed me up to Roblox. They signed me up to everything that I hate about. So watch me get signed up to Zoom calls now. These guys are absolute clowns sometimes. But here are some of the bets that I have going. What the heck is this? Oh, this is baseball. I sometimes make bet I don't even know about, right?
Brad, did you enjoy the baseball game? That was your first baseball game on Friday, right?
Dude, did we even watch baseball?
You know, it's about like
did we went to a baseball game on Friday?
It was good company. It was really good company. It was a great night out with the guys.
All I know was I went into some big stadium and I was just staring at the same 4 people I stare at in a bar all the time. So I don't.
But in a different environment, though, right?
Yeah, in a different environment. You know, there was some wind hitting my face. There was some expensive beer that we were drinking. But you know, at the end of the day, I don't remember watching baseball. I don't remember watching anything close to baseball. But no, tons of fun no matter what. Thank you for The Office. Thank you for the people who even came up with the idea. I think it was you, Spencer. And,
it was Spencer and Brankles.
Spencer and Brankles. Yeah, good idea. So what about your graduation? Where are we going for your grad? Miami?
I don't know. We'll see. That would be something. For
Miami meet up with the viewers for Ian's
insane.
graduation.
I don't know if we have the budget for something like that, but I'll start throwing out feelers now. But you know, gotta graduate first, and we'll see when that happens. But you know, just try to improve every day, and it'll come.
Right on.
Let's talk about the race quickly before Luca comes on.
Yeah, for sure.
It was quite a quite exciting race, actually. I was surprised. I wasn't anticipating that at all. What did you think?
Man, so clearly I had some bets, you know that, right? So I had $1 to Checo to win the race, and if Checo won, I was gonna win $21 back. And guess what happens? Team orders come in and ruin my bet. I don't even. I'll get furious over here. I'll get fuming. I'll get angry. Like what else can I say here?
Yeah, you know, it's sad. It's sad to see the team orders come into play like so early. Like we're literally 5 races in, and all of a sudden, you know, Red Bull's putting in team orders to try and get their number 1 guy a win, right? But it is what it is. I just want to point out Lewis had like the fastest race time overall. So you know, he was driver of the day for good reason. But yeah, hopefully they start coming back and, you know, can give a challenge to the Red Bulls. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it for me, guys. Luca's gonna hop on here. Oh, I guess I gave it away.
When's the next race?
Next weekend.
Next weekend?
Yeah, Monaco.
Azerbaijan?
No, Monaco.
Oh, Monaco?
It's the crown jewel of the year, man. So let's go. Saturday's gonna be huge.
Oh, dude, no one's gonna overtake in Monaco with the current car sizes either.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, whoever gets pole, it's gonna be exciting, and then
you're gonna
we'll
go
see
to
where
bed.
it goes, right? But what's that?
We're gonna wake up and go right back to bed.
Oh yeah, pretty much. But yeah, thanks a lot, guys, for.
all right.
Oh yeah, that's right. I saw that too. It might rain, so it could throw some excitement into the weekend. But yeah, thanks a lot, guys, for having me, and yeah, hopefully I get to be on a little bit more, and we'll talk about some more trading with you guys. So good luck the rest of the day, guys.
Yeah, man.
Stay
See you
profitable.
tomorrow. Have a good one. All right, so now that Luca is going to be jumping on over here, setting up his PC. In the meantime, let's just quickly go over some parlays. You know, Parlay Prad over here. Can I hide my money? Why does that show there anyways? I'm not trying to hide that money anyways. So here we go. You guys want to see a couple bets that I have going? Clearly, this bet's dead. I don't know if this one's going to hit, but we have this one over here. I'm sorry, but yo, your Floridas are losing, playmaker. Tampa is going to take that series over there. We got Dallas. Dallas is going to lose most likely. But here we go. We got the Miami Heat money line today. We got this 13-leg parlay over here. Somewhat decent. I think the only thing I'm scared about on this one, realistically, is Marcus Smart getting 10 points. As long as he's healthy, I think we can get that 10 points coming in from him. Pretty much the same bet over here, but instead of Miami Heat money line, I have a Boston Celtics money line, so the payout is way less. It's only $30 instead of $100 payout. For some reason, they give Miami an underdog by plus 250, so I think they screwed up on that side. Miami's going to beat Boston's butt, obviously. And then we have some pre-made parlays that the software made for us. These are like the popular parlays that people are betting on. So Tatum to score 30, Butler to score 25, Adebayo to score 15, over 207, and Miami Heat over line. Money line, that is. So we have a bunch of those pre-made bets that the game has made, and I picked 5 favorites for MLB. So not sure what's going on over here. I don't really watch MLB in any way, so I don't know anything about MLB. Yeah, Butler is hurt, so that's why I only have Butler for 15 points instead of usually I have him for 20 points. So I don't really have Butler for more than 15. Hopefully he can do that, but at the same time I also have Butler over here for under 22.5. So hopefully this one ends up hitting. You know, we have a couple other bets over here. We have some good bets over here that can maybe work for us. Let's see if there's any odd boosts going on for NBA. We don't see anything yet. When they do show up, we'll talk about it. But see, FanDuel, I talk about you all the time, FanDuel. I'm looking for a sponsorship, right? We're looking for some we can work together, FanDuel. You know, we have 300,000 subscribers over here. I bet a ton of money on you guys. Let's work with it. If you guys have anyone who's actually working in FanDuel or has any partnerships with FanDuel or any sports book to begin with who's willing to sponsor me and Sean, or sorry, Sean and I, contact us. Please contact us. We're looking for some conversations to have over there. Are you ready, buddy boy?
Just give me a sec here.
Oh, we'll give you a second, no problem. So Luca's setting up for you. In the meantime, let's see what's setting up in the market for us. S&P 500 up 1.5% on the day, coming down right now slightly to 39.58 is where we're at. Nasdaq up 1% still, but Nasdaq has broken 12K to the downside. Nasdaq is now pushing to the downside a little bit. Not too far though, still up on the day, as I mentioned, up 1% on the day so far. It's okay. Proper English is overrated today. Okay. You surprised me with your knowledge. My knowledge on what? Check that. Takeoff TOR. Burrios to get lit up. Takeoff TOR. Burrios good. Check that. Oh, you're talking about MLB. Yeah, I don't know about anything about MLB, bro. You're talking to the wrong person here. I just picked the top 5 underdogs. FanDuel is the best of the day. FanDuel long shot of the day. Best bet of the day, long shot of the day. Okay. All right, anyways, coming back from MLB and other sports betting, let's go take a look at something else. Gotta turn this around, my friend. Only 590 likes. Look, there's a reason why I'm not even trying to get that today is because Miss V's not here. It's going to be impossible for me to ask for 1,000. absolutely impossible. It'll be sick to get to 1K. You know, obviously it would be nice because then not only do I feel a little special, but also the other hosts who are coming on with me, who are also, you know, putting in some of their own work. They're taking time of their own day to come on over here, taking time of their own trades and so on to come on over here and give me some company, give me some partnership to, you know, bounce off ideas with, but also so I don't have to scream alone for 3 hours in a row. So if you appreciate their hard work, them taking some time out of their time, them taking some time out of their trading, please smash the like button, show some appreciation to the chat over here, to the show. We like to get 1K at least for the day, but I'm not gonna beg for it because I know it's gonna be really hard without Miss V here helping out with that side. Some people care about human connection and buying items in person. No doubt, no doubt about that, man. No one's gonna argue about that fact. But sadly, the reality is we're walking into a virtual reality lifestyle. Virtual reality lifestyle where everyone is just getting ready to strap on a head and just sit in their bed and not get out of their bed. Tesla is at 666. That's the number I like to see at the moment. Thank you, Neil, for calling out. He's not even at his desk. How did you even call that out? Oh, he's right there. He's right there. I see him. I was like, what? I don't even see him at his desk at the moment. Okay, Tesla coming to 666 level. Trying to see maybe we have some support at 666. I'm waiting for the Tesla God himself to finish his layout.
Oh, I don't know about that.
He's not the Tesla God. Sorry, the Tesla God is missing right now. But the second to the Tesla God. Is 666 a lucky number? No, not really. But I just see the number so much during my trading career that it just kind of become an impossible thing to see even one day without seeing 666 somewhere. It's kind of messed up to a point now for myself. Tyrone, this is true. Not sure what you guys are talking about there. Apple buy, don't buy? Question mark. Well, the number one rule for Luca is, you know, never short Apple. I remember that rule coming out there not too long ago. Apple, if you stuck to that rule today on Apple, you would have made a ton of cash on the long side. The 139 breakout was just absolutely beautiful. I missed out on that trade for myself. Apple going to 143.26, near 143 seems to be somewhat of a barrier on the day for that stock. Also happens to be the high of, not Friday, not the high of any day. It's the high of low of May 13th. So low of May 13th is low of 2 Fridays ago on Apple, which is where we're rejecting off of currently. If Apple manages to break out of this, I think Apple can find a way to go to 145 and then find a rejection at 145 on Apple. So if you are thinking about going long towards that 145 area, I would perhaps wait for VWAP at least coming in to 145. Maybe Apple pullbacks to VWAP near 145 or so and then manages to rip out from there.
What's going on, everybody?
Oh, you're ready.
How do I switch this here? Let's check
I got you.
out. Oh, beautiful. Okay, I'm just setting up my layout here. Hopefully you guys can see this. Create no dead space. Hopefully everybody had a great weekend. Not so much a long weekend, you know, maybe long on the beers for me, but
a little
short
too
weekend.
long on the beers for you, Luca.
Always a pleasure. When the sun's out, you got to have a good time, right? You got to take advantage, especially here in Canada. Hopefully you guys had a great weekend too. And that storm was crazy. That storm, hopefully everybody's safe.
That storm was wild. Sean still doesn't have power 48 hours after.
Two lost power, so we just went over, had some barbecue.
Nice.
We were forced to drink all the beers and cook all the meat, so it was a really good time, but it was unfortunate. Obviously, you know, you don't want to lose power for too long. But yeah, hopefully everybody was good. And thank you. And what are you guys trading? If you guys have any questions for me or just questions, let me know.
The chat called out UPST.
UPST, let's take a look. UPST.
ATER.
UPST has been getting crushed. UPST has been getting crushed. This name, there's I'm sure you guys have seen Mike Miravani. Sorry, the pronunciation is bad. This guy went long UPST, loved the company, talked it up, everything was good, and he, you know, fortunately sold the top, right at the top. What was like 200, and then this thing just came down. Now it's at 42, and I think might go sideways. And just to kind of give you guys a heads up here, so bottom left, I'm thinking of keeping the overall market on the bottom left of my screen. You know, you always want to watch overall market. I always like to watch it. You can have, you know, NASDAQ market, doesn't really matter. For me, I like to watch just the ES, and obviously just cognizant of what I'm trading. If I'm trading like a NASDAQ name, then maybe pull it up. Top two, we got the 1 minute right over here, and we got the 5 minute, or 5 minute. And I might cycle this out to 10 minute just to kind of get a like a bird's eye view of everything. And when I jump in a position, we'll see about that. And I got the level 2 obviously here. What were you saying? You're saying level 2 is not important? I like that.
I wasn't saying that. I was just reading that off a chat. So one of our viewers basically saying level 2 is not important, level 2 is useless, level 2 is worthless. They were just like ragging on Branko's talking about level 2 and having full screen level 2s. So that's where I was like, that's where I came in with like my sarcastic comments, and I was like, yeah guys, level 2 is useless. Level 2 doesn't tell you anything.
Well, you know, level 2, if you know how to read, let's put it this way. If you know how to read, then, you know, you're going to learn a lot, right? If you don't know how to read, then what's the book, right? It's a whole lot of nothing. So, I mean, you want to learn how to read, and hopefully over the time here, I can kind of show you guys things here and there. I mean, today's kind of slow. There's not really a lot of volume in the market, so I've been sort of hands-off, just relaxing, waiting, and that's the key, right? Being very patient, waiting to see something, and then taking advantage when you do see it. I see CBIO as well. Let's check this out here. CBIO. 161 million here. I definitely have to check the float of this one. Unless you guys know it, just shout it on the
CBI?
chat. CBIO.
CBIO float is 27 million.
27 million. Oh, baby. We got, okay, so 27 million. This thing already traded 160 million. I'm not really sure what the catalyst is here. But let's see. This thing's up 251%. That's definitely interesting.
The name of the stock, Catalyst Bioscience.
Oh, my God. When it's in the name, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I remember this name before, too. Let's check SBIO stock.
After Vertex Pharmaceutical buys Catalyst Complements portfolio for $60 million.
Okay. So they sold off some of their portfolio.
Yeah.
Okay. Makes sense. They're getting a cash influx. I don't love that for the long, but I guess we'll see where this goes. Keep an eye on it.
In the meantime, I could jump over while you look for some stocks to talk about, maybe.
Sure.
Yeah. So let's take a look at some of our usual suspects. You know, our Apples, our AMDs, the usual suspects. The same thing that we run through always. AMD still getting rejected at 94. You know what? Actually, instead of going to the usual suspects, let's actually go through some of the relative volume leaders today, real quick. Maybe I can actually even send you. Do you have Discord open on the screen?
I do not.
You do not. It's okay. We don't need it. I'll just send it to you on Hangouts. If I can even, Luca Santoli, I do have you. Okay, there you go. I'm gonna send you a couple screenshots of relative volume leaders. If you want to pick any stocks from that list, feel free. Now coming back to you guys. So here we go. DD. I see DD standing out for me. You know, it's pretty much flat on the day, but we can talk about it. Relative volume on DD is pretty nice, 3.42, 3.41. Any other Chinese stocks that we're looking at right now by any chance? I know I was looking at NIO. There is NIO with a relative volume of 1.04. Down on the day, sadly, down 4.6%. NIO looking like it wants to extend its losses again. Round 2, loss. So NIO getting rejected from 17 today. Yeah, we opened up above 17. Did we open up above 17? No, we did not. Sorry. So getting slightly up to $16 looks like, and getting rejected at 16 and pushing as low as 15.22 to the downside, down 4 full percent on NIO today. DD, a stock that we know is getting under, it has the fear of delisting. The delisting fear for DD has been there for God knows how long now. But look at the support on DD at $1.50. Big time support coming in for support for DD at $1.50. Now I just want to go look at the size at that level. Looks like today's low is actually $1.30. Let's go confirm if that is. It's not. But the pre-market low is $1.30. The off the open low is actually only $1.48 on this stock, and there is a little bit of a size. But keep in mind, you know, a stock that has that's only $1 and has about let's say what? Why can't I scroll? There we go. Let's say, what? There we go, okay. Oh, that makes a lot more sense. Does it? No, it doesn't. I can only scroll if I'm on the ask, but not the bid. What kind of voodoo magic is DD doing to my level 2 right now? Weird magic is what DD doing. Can't wait for dollars to be worthless. Oh my goodness. Is that how we're doing right now? Man.
Dollars, like US dollars?
Yeah, dollars to be worthless.
Oh, I think we're far away from that. I get the perspective, but I think we're far away from that. The dollar's getting stronger. Dollar's getting stronger. Everything else is falling off. I mean, I can imagine a world where the dollar kind of, I get it, inflation, but, I think we're far away from that. People, you look for protection. Where are you going to put your money? Everybody's worried. They hold dollars, right? So dollars goes up. What you don't want to be holding right now is any of these, some of these crypto names. I mean, seen some scary things on that.
CBIO is apparently running right now. Neil just called that out in our chat. So I'm looking at CBIO take out the high day. 165 million shares traded on this position so far. A relative volume of 805. So tons of eyes on there clearly. You guys saw what the catalyst was not too long ago. So the catalyst was basically them getting a cash influx. This could also have something to do with maybe I'm wrong, correct me if I am, please, something to do with the monkeypox play. So if CBIO has anything to do with the monkeypox play overall, makes sense why we're watching this jump coming in on this position. Harris agree, nice angle. I don't know what you guys are talking about over there. Oh my god, BIO too crazy. I'm guessing you're talking about CBIO. 257% coming in today for this stock. Let's go see what levels we can find on the dailies. So CBIO on the dailies, taking out multiple levels already. I have this $1.40 area that I think I would maybe call a level, simply because, okay, the reason why I'm doing that is because notice how we have reds all the way to the downside over here for every single day, but then tiny little pop coming in for 2 days in a row. But that pop ends at $1.38. So that level was going to stand out for me. Another level to stand out would just be that range low. So it would be around $1.25, which also happens to be this range is high. We can throw another one over here. We can throw another one over here. So we have multiple levels already mapped out. And now let's take a look at how the stock actually looks like today. I'm going to throw another one on this bottom over here. So as you guys can see, there we go. We're pretty much playing within these range levels. Already took out 2 levels to the upside, getting rejected by the 3rd level, and we opened by the 1st level to the downside over here. So clean move. Now if we get a $1.40 break or let's say a $1.40 break, I think I could expect a move to a $1.80 on this stock, giving you even more extension to the north side. Is there volume in this position right now? So noticing the volume candles, we had volume off the open. Obviously during the lunchtime, volume died off, and right now at 1:18 Eastern Standard Time, which is 18 minutes past the official lunchtime, we are getting a rise up in volume on said position. So overall, the idea of volume coming back into the market after lunchtime is a check mark, and volume coming into this stock after lunch pushing it to the north side is also a check mark. So we're waiting for that the $1.80 maybe to come into play on this trade. That being said, S&P 500 on a pretty decent curl to the downside. So here's S&P 500 getting held up by one of my support lines, almost by VWAP over here. That 3980 level Ian was talking about was still a barrier, and here's NASDAQ coming down to VWAP under 12K for the 2nd time of the day now. Looks like we only had 2 or 3 breakouts above 12K, and the rest of them have been to the downside. So that's not a good thing for the S&P 500. And UVXY, negative 2% still, trading at 1560 and under VWAP. So since UVXY is under VWAP, maybe the market longs are still in play.
Maybe, yeah. So I just took a small long here on CBIO, actually. I think if we can hold this trend here, 13 EMA, we should be good to the upside. But, I'm just definitely going to watch this. Tape definitely looks interesting here, but got to keep my eye on this. And yeah, just looking at what you guys are saying, the altcoins, it's kind of funny. It's scary. A lot of this stuff is scary, right? You're holding this stuff, it potentially goes to 0. It's like, oh my god, it's a nightmare. So yeah, hopefully you guys are not super long on any of those bad names there. Yeah, let's see. Oh, wow. Perfect long. Gotta love it. When you see something like this, instant in the money. Oh, let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, the CBOE, no, CBOE, CBIO, CBOE.
CBIO.
CBIO.
Did anybody trade SIGA today? That was
Yeah.
actually interesting. So this was the monkeypox play. I'm sure everybody knows. This was the monkeypox play. And the company's already worth like 800 million, a billion. And I think their float is like 40 million. So when you get something like that, like they can run for sure. And, it's obviously positive catalyst, but, big float. And there was a lot of buyers involved initially, but then I guess, today they dump, right? So it's when you get those low floats. So anybody who's holding any low float, super low float that starts to run, like those ones can really get going. And, if the catalyst is right and everything looks good, I mean, these things like 4X, 5X, like if you're in at the right price, I'm sure a lot of you guys know that already. Yeah, I see Dominic here. CBIO has been beautiful all morning. Let me guess, Dominic, you're in from the bottom. For sure in from the bottom. Maybe I'm late to the party here, but, I guess better late than never. I don't know.
All right, where we're going to?
I was even looking at. Sorry, just give me a sec here. I was looking
go
at
for
Apple. I had a few scalps on Apple. I'm up on the name. So again, held 13 EMA. The thing with today is you want to be a little cautious, just because coming off the weekend, everybody's trying to make decisions. We had a huge move last week, and now maybe today's a little bit muted. People are trying to make decisions. What's going to happen next? We have that relief day, but can this day sustain itself? Can the market sustain itself? So we see down here, market kind of bottomed out. We have the joke, right? We say, we're making up our own patterns over here. So we had, I call this one the Big Dipper. We had the Big Dipper pattern on the ES, and now it's making another high coming back, right? And if you look on the daily, you'll see like 4,000, obviously 4,000 level, which is pretty interesting. I think if we can get above that with volume, then maybe we run. But until then, I think a lot of people are skeptical. Obviously, recession now, like we're in bear market territory. When's the last time anybody has ever seen stuff like this, right? And I was even telling the other guys here, it's like, you have traders at the bank who have been promoted like 3 times, who have never traded a bear market. Maybe they're overseeing algorithms that are doing a bunch of things, and these algos have never traded bear markets. Not to say that, they're going to make a lot of mistakes or this or that, or it becomes easier or more difficult, just in the sense that this is a new environment for everybody, right? So I emphasize, if you guys are trading and you see something that you don't understand, then, don't jump in. Wait, watch, and get the reps in and try to figure out what's happening and feel comfortable. Obviously, small caps are not a part of this kind of ideology because they're in their own world, right? They just run, they go. But just in large caps, right? If volume dries up and there's a lot of volatility, you don't want to be on the wrong side of any of these moves, right? So you want to be able to scalp in and out very quickly. So as you can see here, my Apple trade, I was just like in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. And then I try to short, but again, my rule, as Prad mentioned, I don't really want to, I don't love shorting these names unless there's a lot of volume coming in, because I tend to feel that, like, money's always going into these large caps. So, to short them, I mean, there's better names to short, right? You don't have to pick Apple to short, unless you love it, unless you see a certain setup.
All right, looking for more opportunities on the board over here, especially in the futures market. Trying to see what the futures are trying to do. Nasdaq at VWAP, or pretty close to VWAP. We touched VWAP and had a nice little bounce off of VWAP. Trying to see if we can extend the downside or bounce off of the VWAP area to extend north side. Either direction would be good for the overall market. I just don't want to see the market trade sideways. We got a nice breakout to the high side off the pre-market levels. I don't want to go right back into the levels and just trade sideways. That's going to absolutely be boring for me, if you ask me. This is supply zone. Be aware of shorts. Yeah, not a bad idea over there. We'll see what happens. 78 to 79 channel ain't bad. I'm not sure what trade Neil is talking about, but he's talking to some other viewers, so we'll leave that stock alone. Moving on, let's go take a look at what stocks can we talk about at the moment. No real trades happening that I would be interested in. Wells Fargo did move quite a bit to the downside after stopping me out. So did what was the other one? Bank of America. Bank of America pushed back to the downside. So XLF, what is XLF doing? I'm expecting XLF is, oh, no, it's not. I thought XLF would be under 34, but we're still above 34 on XLF here. We did get under 34 a couple times slightly, but looks like banks are getting ready to go back north here right now while we're talking about it. What is Apple and your tech stocks doing in general with Nasdaq coming back to the downside under 12K? So with Nasdaq back under 12K, Apple right now coming back to 142, but still above VWAP and in the green territory for Apple. So good job, Apple, today. Very strong along with the market. And, we're actually happy for Apple. We want Apple to stay strong. We don't want Apple to go to the downside. AMD, sadly still weak on the day, back under 94 to the downside right now, trading at 93.50 or so. Let's see if AMD can get back into the positive territory, because Nasdaq is trying to bounce off of VWAP as previously mentioned. So maybe AMD gets back into positive and stays at positive as long as market can keep on bouncing in front of 39.50 for S&P 500 and get back above 12K for the Nasdaq.
So, Prad, you mentioned that was your first baseball game.
Yeah.
And how'd you like it?
We didn't go to a baseball game.
We may have went to a bar, and there was a baseball game in the background.
There was no baseball game.
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I always like to ask people when they do something for the first time, how's the experience? Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. I'm not a huge baseball fan, but I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun watching. And we won, so, that's always good. And, oh, yeah, I can show you. So I'm out of CBIO. That was just in and out, quick scalp. I never know where these are going. I tried to get out at around, I had an order at 50s, but, there's a lot of selling coming in on the tape right now. And they're jamming down all the size. Look right here. You see, dark pools on the way up, not much size on the way up. Or, sorry, not many green prints. And now we have midpoints. It's sort of slowing down. And, anytime real size comes up on the bid, it's getting smashed. So that's kind of one tell for me. When I see that, I just like to get out. And again, I'm just scalping. I'm not holding this. We can't hold overnight or, maybe hold some for the run. But yeah, just in and out, I'll take that scalp every time. I shouldn't have covered. This is bad. Just look at this. It sort of looks like it's going to break 13 EMA, and lots of selling comes through. I say to myself, you know what? I'm out here. And now it's probably going to push to where I should have gotten out, which is 48, 49. But it's all good. Can't complain. Can't complain when you take a win. You got to pay yourself, right?
That's right. Good trade overall. Good win. Looks like CBIO trying to keep on moving north side. So that $1.40 breakout trade is still playing out as I expected to. I'm still waiting for that $1.80 to the north side right now. Let's see if $1.80 can actually come into play, or does that exit over there for Luca be the top of the day for CBIO and push back to the downside, right back to VWAP, and then continue trading more sideways in VWAP, at which point I'll just call it boring action. We don't want the stock to trade sideways around VWAP, just scalping between 10-20 cents. We want that beautiful breakout to the north side. Go test those new levels. That way, whoever was long from pre-market, whoever was long under $1 is able to capitalize on this trade in a more drastic way. So let's see how high can we go on this one. People who like baseball put pineapple on pizza. That's actually maybe not true, because there's a guy who likes baseball but does not put pineapple on his pizza, and you guys watch him every day on the morning show. His name is Neil. Less people active because V is gone. Yeah, sadly, that will be a reality a little bit. A lot of simps will be missing from the show. A lot of you who just over here simping on Miss V at all times. I miss her too. I'll be honest, I miss her too. Now I gotta look at this guy's ugly face.
I know. I miss, and I hear Prad all day, and I look back and I'm like, I'm missing Miss V.
No blonde hair, no green dresses, nothing. No, I just have to look at this guy in a Puma hat sitting next to me. But no, I love this guy. He's maybe a good friend of mine, so it all makes it's all cancels itself out. What'd you say?
No, I said maybe I'll switch the hat a couple times. I saw a hat comment before. I just missed it, but I think I don't know what it said. But yeah, maybe I'll switch up the hat for you guys here and there. I know. So did we confirm Zoom is after the bell?
we don't know yet realistically, but the earnings whisper says after bell, Trading View says sometime in June.
I want to say, like, I mean, earnings whisper says after the bell. They're pretty accurate. Normally, the ones that you never, I mean, not never know, but like Neo, Alibaba sometimes switch, or they say a day and then it's not that day. Sometimes Tesla doesn't show, but I would have thought for sure Zoom today. It kind of makes sense. But yeah, well, it'll be interesting what happens here. I kind of want to favor the short side going into this, just because the reopening and, you know, obviously the stock sold off quite a bit, so we'll see what happens. That'll be interesting. That's definitely on my radar for after hours.
Yeah, after hour trades for sure. Gotta have that one on watch just to see what happens, and you'll find some good levels to trade that stock tomorrow after those levels establish themselves in after hours or even pre-market tomorrow, as long as the earnings report is actually today. So, you know, we're waiting to see what when it actually ends up showing up, if it actually does show up.
So I see somebody saying GVOX is going. It's skyrocketing here.
GVOX. Let's go check
out. Or GOVX, sorry. GOVX.
GOVX.
On the NASDAQ.
On NASDAQ, GOVX apparently going crazy. You want me to put you on?
We got a couple volume spikes here. I'm just having a look at this. Yeah, sure. So, okay, so something about this name. Now, again, I don't know the float off the top of my head. Once you see that sort of, this is what's interesting about these small caps. And this is I'm learning, right? I don't obviously know everything, but, you know, I'm kind of learning.
9 million.
Sorry?
9 million.
9 million. Okay, so yeah, so this name, you know, it makes a high, obviously has volume, right? Makes a high, pushes for that other high, and instantly down into a halt, right? Halts down. Now, you would think, for the most part, normally, when this down halts, this is the death candle. So a lot of small cap traders, what they say is that, you know, you're always looking for the death candle. So once that death candle comes through, people say to themselves, you know what, maybe I'm done with this. Like, I'm not going to trade anymore. Volume dies. As you can see, volume was very high. And then we went into the halt and just boom, volume dead. Just dies off, right? And then surprisingly, we get that volume spike and then nothing. So you still think it's dead. Then pushing for the new high. Pushing for the new high, right? So when you have a name that does 100 million shares in volume, and it's not falling off the way that you would think if you're favoring the short side. If you're a, you know, mean reversion type strategy on these small caps and you're going short, and, you know, it looks like it should be dying, going down, and pushes for another high. Like, this is actually a great setup. I don't know the catalyst on this, and I'm not the type of guy to short when it's pushing, making new highs, but a lot of times what I notice is it'll push for that new high, it'll get that volume, you get that final squeeze out, and then it just dies, right? I mean, if you're in from before, like if you're in from like down here, then like that's amazing, you know? But you always want to be wary. Like, volume is not what it was this morning, right? Making a new high on way less volume is something to be concerned about. And unless the catalyst makes sense, then like for me, that's a red flag. Like, I'm not really, I mean, you can scalp this obviously, but like, I would probably favor the short side on this thing, just because volume looks like it's dying off. You know, you don't really have that organic volume, that organic follow through. And if you see that people are slamming it down, I'm just looking at the tape here. If you see people slamming it down, like pushing for the new high, okay, let's see where this goes.
Holy moly! Yeah, they weren't joking.
It push for that high, but no follow through. And this is kind of tape reading 101. You know, makes a new high, volume is coming through. Clearly, there's a lot of volume here, but there's not like follow through volume that you want to see. I'm just worried about this one. And again, you know, like low floats, I kind of worry about them. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Let's go back to CBIO just for a sec. Prad, you could take over if you want to check out
no
GVOX,
problem.
or if you got a trade idea.
I don't want to cut you off, you know. I don't want it to feel awkward, cut you off, because the viewers are gonna go crazy, like, Prad's cutting people off now. He wants more camera time, so you know, just gotta make everyone happy over here while we're trying to understand our own chemistry, our own partnership chemistry while we work with each other over here. New things to try, new relationships to build. That's why I was trying to cut my man off over there. GOVX, boy, what's going on over here? This stock is absolutely taking off right now, ripping to the north side. Volume spikes coming in, as my boy already mentioned, Luca on the other side. So GOVX actually heating up at the moment.
I see Dominic mentions the small monkeypox play as well.
GOVX, yeah. It was another
and low float. You know what? I stand corrected. These are the ones that potentially go. Low float, 9 million. You mentioned 9 million, right?
Yeah.
I think you said 9 million, yeah. names like these could potentially go. So this is actually really interesting. GOVX.
We don't sound like that, Prad. Listen, in my head, sometimes you do, okay? In my head, all the chat just sounds really nasally. And no, I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking.
I love the explanation when somebody's like talking about somebody else and then they use the voice. And it's like, yeah, that's yours for some people. Everybody's got their own, right? I'm sure everybody, if they're talking about one of their friends, they try to imitate their voice. That's kind of funny.
That's right. Yeah, GOVX.
Okay,
are you still looking at that?
Oh yeah, I'm still looking at this.
Yeah, it's
So
catching some wind.
I'm seeing here 25 mil market cap, which is extra small. 9 mil float. Yeah, this is definitely interesting. I'll keep this on my radar as well.
So along with GOVX, I'm actually watching over here CBIO. Not sure if CBIO. Oh, not CBIO. What's the other one? Sigma?
SIGA.
SIGA.
That one,
Siga.
for a run, that's probably more of like a better company. But like in terms of like a trading, I almost want to say like unless this kind of picks up again, just because we had the push to 17 already. There was a lot of volume. And now, what's the volume today? It's probably dead. Yeah, 55 million. I mean, it's doing volume, but it's not as much. Once you see, kind of fall off, just drops, and now it's like sort of sideways. I would keep my eye on this. If it does make a new high, then maybe it gets interesting. But again, this is probably $1 billion company at this point. So like, if this thing's gonna double from here to get to like 21, let's say $25 a share, like that's quite a move, right? Whereas GVOX, very very small.
GVOX, yeah, low float heating up a little bit over here. Low cap, low float stocks moving to the north side. Finally, some stocks that actually have some decent volume. Remember on Friday, I was complaining about nothing really having volume. Low floats I couldn't find a single low float above 100 million volume at 12 o'clock. But today we have about 2 of them that you can see right now. CBIO and GVOX, so multiple stocks trying to boost up to the north side, and we're waiting to see which direction can these go to. Why are you laughing, Lucas? Stop making me laugh over here. Lucas is a rat. KBWB, another one maybe we could take a look at. Let's go take a look at KB.
I'm also looking at Apple here. I think market looks like it's pushing higher. I want to believe, look, market's holding VWAP. 4,000 is in play in my mind. I think we could retest. Even on low volume, that's what you tend to see. It's like you have the big volume sell-offs, then you have the low volume push higher, and it could go, right? You just have to be wary. If you're a large cap trader, just make sure that like, you're not really sizing up when there's no offset, or else that's kind of where you get offside. Things get challenging. People take advantage of you. So, everything in moderation. When volume comes through, then you go hard. But yeah, Apple's actually pretty interesting. I think I'm gonna take a small long here. See what happens.
Where's Miss V? You two look like boy band rejects. Wow.
Oh man, that's
I quit. I can't win, man. You can't win with these guys. It's like we give them good trades. It's like you're not giving me good trades. You give them bad trades. You're giving me bad trades. We're here doing anything. Where's Miss V? There's no winning on YouTube ever. Online, there's never winning.
No. But you know what?
We love you guys anyways.
Oh man, we love you. And like some of these comments, you guys make us laugh. Like we're just cracking jokes after. Like we're like, oh, who's got the best roast? Who's got the best jokes? Like, we could probably get a competition going.
Yeah, exactly. The roast wars of Trader TV Live is what it would be like. Everyone sitting in their hot seat and getting roasted, like that TV show or whatever.
Yeah, that's funny.
Getting back into the market. Only 20 minutes left and markets are getting to do some wild stuff to the north side. Looks like UVXY taking out the lower day. A new lower day actually coming in on UVXY, down 3.8% on the day for UVXY. And S&P 500 and the NASDAQ getting ready for their third leg to the north side. Let's see if they actually manage to do so. Keep on ripping back up to the greens. I mean, they're already in the green. Can we keep on elevating ourselves to the north side a little bit more? And with this move in the market, I'm expecting AMD to get back into the green very soon along with it. It's actually in the green right now. So get back above 94, break 94.50, which it has been struggling all day. As you guys can see, look at the sideways channel we have from the pre-market high all the way to the opening low, $91 and $94.50, just stuck in that range for AMD. Apple, I'm expecting 143s, 142s, currently 142.30, and with this long in the market, we can maybe expect the high day retest on Apple. Microsoft going back to 260, high day 261.50 on Microsoft. Okay, Microsoft, I see you. Absolute monstrous move on Microsoft today. Can I pull up the futures? For sure. Here's your S&P 500 futures bouncing off of VWAP, happens to be near 39.45 or so, getting ready to go back to the high day. Here's your NASDAQ futures, which kind of did the exact same thing, bouncing off of VWAP and now getting ready to go back to 12K. Let's see if NASDAQ actually manages to break out of 12K, or does it reject from said level and go right back to VWAP, at which point your longs, such as Apple and your AMDs or whatever longs you're looking for, might just be time to think about as a short, because lunchtime has come to an end. We see volume picking back up on the market, and if this volume that's picking up on the market at this time of the day cannot manage to, well, I mean, realistically, the real volume on the day comes in from 3 to 4 and 9:30 to 11. So if the volume from 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock cannot manage to take NASDAQ above 12K, then I think the shorts are back in play on the market, and we might just see a little bit of a more sideways action coming in. That 12K level being taken out will be where you'll see me really push some crazy longs across the board on multiple stocks. I'm expecting that to be tomorrow. Hopefully it is tomorrow, so we could go long AMD, Microsoft, Apple, or any stock that we would like to do right now. Better do some like begging. Look, man, I'm over it. We're not gonna get it. Miss Lee's not here. If anyone wants to like it, please go ahead and smash that like button. If not, then I already know what the answer is, right?
What are we? We're working from the ground up here now.
Yeah.
So let's see. You know, like
this is a new show now.
this is you know, it's gonna be hard to top Miss V, but we're gonna try our best. You know, and again, if you guys have any questions, let us know. So just wanted to follow up here. CBIO. I don't hate my exit anymore. I don't hate it. Quick scalp, in and out. I mean, yeah, I could have got 45s. I probably should have got 45s instead of trying to wait for 48s. I just figured it would test 150. Normally what you see is these things, they go up, they test the 50-cent mark, the even dollar mark, and you can, you know, depending the gateway you throw out there, you get the fill, right? So I figured, whatever, you know, I'll take the extra money and risk it. But, yeah, I don't hate myself now. I see somebody said, yeah, we got size at 27 here. Let me pull this up a little bit for you. We got size at 27, but you do have to remember this is not a lot of size for like it's a small, you know, it's $1.30. So this isn't really like a lot of size. And what's more interesting to me is that if we did get down there and it just started smashing and you just read on the tape, people using that size to get out, then I'd be worried. But the fact that it's kind of holding for now, people are not actively trying to hit that, even though it probably will go at some point. It's good. It's good for in the long term. But again, you know, I'm not long anymore. I'm not really looking. When things break trend like this, and again, this blue line here is 13, the 13 EMA. You could use 9, 13, 15, whatever works for you. I like 13. And, you know, it's holding trend, right? It's bouncing, it's bouncing, it's bouncing. That's why I initially took that long and, you know, got lucky, obviously, on the volume spike here. And slight break, so I got out. But again, I don't hate myself, right? So I was getting out at 48 anyways, so not a big deal. Not a big deal. And let's check back with GOVX. GOVX, back down. This is what I worry about with these names, right? You don't want to chase tops unless you're quick. You don't want to chase tops because, you know, you get the pop, you get the volume exhaustion, then back down. Not to say this can't run again. I mean, monkeypox play, we'll see where this goes. I have no idea. I'm not a science guy. I don't know how bad it is. I don't know if it's going to be the next, you know, worst case scenario, but you know, obviously watch these names. Keep an eye on this. Because what it could do is it could fall off, try to, you know, make everybody think the short looks good, and then boom, makes a new high, and then it really gets interesting and volume picks up. So this will definitely be on my radar for the next couple of days. And yeah, I do have my Apple long still. Let's check this out. And this is, again, broad market play. I think we can probably push higher. Market held VWAP. Everything looks like it's holding VWAP. I think we'll get, you know, and again, don't predict. Don't anticipate, participate. As a trader, you always want to be reactive, right? So that's the number one thing any trader will tell you. You want to be reactive. You want to look at these names. You don't want to, say, I think it's going here because of all these reasons. You obviously have your targets, but you want to react to what's happening. And so for me, what I'm looking for, I have an idea of what I'm looking for. I think we can get a couple-day bounce. So today bounce, tomorrow bounce. And then Wednesday we have the FOMC minutes. It's not an interest rate decision, but they're probably going to say what everybody expects them to say. So I don't think it's going to be a huge tradable event, but obviously market's going to move based on that. I think that will be, that will show where we're going for the rest of the week. And I'm going to, I almost think that that might be a chop day and then we go down for the rest of the week. But for sure, we'll just keep my eye on that. And again, I'm not making decisions based on this. I just have an idea, and we'll see what happens. What I want to see with Apple is if it can get over 142.50, then we potentially push to 143 area. And, bids are stepping up. It's holding. For sure, my out here is below 142. And, I wouldn't be surprised if it pushes down there, kind of stops everyone on and goes up anyways. So maybe I'll widen that a bit to 140, 150. But, yeah, I'm trying to build my long here. But, yeah, volume's kind of slow. I'm just assuming that, as we get closer to the end of the day, volume's going to pick up and maybe we get that final push into the close. So, yeah, I like where this position's going. You looking at anything else, Brad?
Right now I'm just looking at the why did this video start? Hold up. Why did this video start by itself? I wasn't even trying to do that. I was just looking at the like count. Looks like people are talking about the like count going up and whatnot. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. 854 is actually really good without Miss V. I'll be very honest. We're used to getting 1,000. We're at 854. I appreciate for everyone who has done it. Moving on from that button though, you guys saw Luca talking about a potential Apple long he's building into, and he's working with his own mind right now where the stop is. So let's see. Hopefully for Luca it works out. So far, market is going up and UVXY is going down. So it looks like he's going to be in a beautiful Apple long over here. My man's going to cash out. Congratulations on that long, Luca. Keep on sending it to the moon, baby. I want to see 145 today on Apple. I don't know if we're going to see it, but I would like for that level to see on Apple to come into play, because then that means 150 is going to be in play this week. But obviously, if 145 doesn't come into play this week, I don't think 150 is coming into play this week.
That's a kind of a stretch. 150. I would love to see it. We did bottom out. I was talking to Ian last week. And I was like, Ian, we're going to be sitting beside each other. It's going to be like September. And Apple's going to maybe be at 126. We are in a bear market now. This is a recession. And he's like, yeah, man, that's kind of scary. And then sure enough, the next week, which was last week, we're looking at Apple. It's like 133. I look over at him. I was like, I didn't expect this. I did not expect this. And where's it going? Or is it going to 126 this week? But it's nice to see that bounce. I want to believe that we could test 150, but yeah, we have to get through. I want to say that 148, 149 area is the real resistance area, because if we do get to 150, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of size there. 150, 140 key zones, and I want to also say 138. Now that we got back above, 138.90 area is interesting. I don't think we'll get back below, but if we do, for the short term, but if we do, that's where I would start favoring the downside. For now, it's just kind of slow. I like the bounce back play, so we'll see where it goes. There's some size here actually at 142.50 that just got taken. Okay, perfect. So let's see where this goes. And I'm going to say what every trader says. I wish I had more size. I wish I had more size. Yeah. Okay, it's okay. All good. All good. I can always add to this on a pullback, so
always add indeed. Greed isn't good. That's true. Greed is never good. Where are we going next with that one? How's DD? I'm guessing that's what you're trying to ask. DIDI. Let's go check on DD. It was flat on the day when we last spoke about it. It's still pretty much flat on the day, doing absolutely nothing for DD. So I don't even think the stock's in play today. Let's go check what the relative volume is, and I'm guessing it's lower than 1. DIDI. No, it's actually higher than 1, surprisingly enough. Okay, 3.23 relative volume just to trade sideways in barcode. I don't understand that part, but still, Chinese stocks a little bit have been in play today. Well, only 2 of them, NIO and DD. I guess DD is not even in play if you ask me, to be honest. But let's go check out BABA. BABA flat on the day. Pinduoduo also probably flat on the day. Let's go check out PDD. PDD, where you at? Yeah, so they're down 2%, but pretty much trading sideways. So FXI, the large cap Chinese ETF, is what I would go take a look at. FXI at the moment, reflecting what the whole Chinese ETF stocks are looking like, which are to the downside for the most part, but trade sideways after the open. And that's what you saw on DD, that's what you saw on BABA. Deere, I think that is Deere. The company that makes those farming equipment or whatever. Yeah, Deere and Company, DE. Up 6.7% today. I forget what the catalyst was. I read about it, so maybe I can check real quick over here if we have it on our watch list. We don't have it on our watch list, and the watch list that I read about it, I forgot what it was. So maybe one of you know why DE is pushing up. Was it earnings report? It's not earnings report, is it? It was earnings report. Awesome. So earnings report came in a little bit earlier from today. I think it was on Friday morning. Yep, it was Friday morning for DE that came in. Sadly, the market that day was free fall Friday, so that earnings report did not help it out. They did beat revenue slightly and earnings slightly. So today, using that information, DE jumping up about 6.66% to the north side, now trading at $334.21. Some of the levels that I will be watching for on DE coming into the next week or so would be this 340 level to the upside and 310 level to the downside. Let's see if 310 can show us support on the way down, and 340 breakout will give us a easy target of 344, but then even maybe a gap fill to 360 over the span of 2-3 weeks or so, you know, however long it takes to fill that gap. I have these levels mapped out. I'm going to be looking for that 340 breakout, and I'm actually going to be sending a alert, set an alert for 338.35 on DE to remind me when it does come into play near those levels. So market waking up right now. S&P 500 did make a nice push towards high day, but you know, not managing to get above it. Nasdaq also giving us a nice little push to high day. NQ slash oh my goodness, I can't type. NQ/M22, here we go. It's slightly getting above 12K right now, but we are seeing a little bit of a barrier coming in around here. I think market's getting ready to obviously push itself to the north side, so maybe AMD longs and Apple longs. Here goes AMD pushing towards 94.50. A new high day has come in on AMD actually. So if market really moves up here, AMD can take advantage of that move, maybe, question mark. But I would watch SOXX, which is your semiconductor ETF for AMD, instead of just blindly looking at NASDAQ alone and then getting burnt, because semiconductors have been a little bit different compared to your overall market. Luca, you have anything?
Sure, yeah. So I'm just trying my best to add to this Apple position, and I got some pretty bad fills, but I'm not too worried. I do think that 143 will come into test, and that's kind of what I'm going for. I think we'll get that test. I have a couple orders out. I'm not really sure how much higher this will go, but the fact that it broke 142.50, today's sort of like a robotic day, right? You had got the no volume. Then as it's riding 13 EMA, it's holding. You had the size at 142.50, breaks through, and now it's above. I think we get another leg up, and you know, that'll be my exit. So we'll see what happens. Just kind of going with the flow of you know, I think we get a couple bounce days. That's sort of my context to this trade. So yeah, we'll see what happens here. And while I have it, I will go back. Let's check CBIO again just to see. Oh, back at 29, bottomed out here. So I guess it took out that size there. So it took out the size. Somebody believes in it because obviously they're long there, unless they're covering a short. But yeah, see what happens. And GOVX, let's see where that is too, because I want to keep my eyes on these. If they hold, that's where it's interesting, right? It's like you get the volume spike, and then it holds. Is it going to have another leg up? But this is, I don't like when the chart looks like this. It's too robotic. It doesn't look organic. It's not my forte, but yeah, I got to learn. And you know, feel free, guys. Let me know what else you're trading. Thoughts on AMD? AMD, you know, broad market play. AMD. Kind of same logic with all the rest of tech, right? If the market's moving up, everything's kind of flowing together. And, you know, Sean says this all the time. You want to find relative strength in names. So if one name is up more than the other on the day, percentage-wise, then those are the names you want to favor if you're taking along, unless you're playing off a level or looking at a certain type of event or whatever. So yeah, AMD looks actually interesting, holding trend here. But you know, if we kind of consolidate here towards high a day, maybe we move back down. But it really depends what the market's going to do. But again, you know, we got a couple hours left till the end of the day, so maybe volume comes back in the next couple hours. So we'll see what happens. But the fact that we're moving up, maybe we get some sideways action and then one final push higher. So I'm just going to manage my Apple trade here. If you want to take over, Prad.
Manage your Apple trade it is, my friend. We got your back. This is what the teamwork will allow you to do. Will allow you to make the dream work, baby. Make that dream work for you.
Make the dream work.
That's right. Teamwork will make the dream work. Oh, I got your back while you're trading that. So someone said, what is the semiconductor ETF you're talking about? There's a multiple ETFs. The one I like to use is the one that actually holds the stocks in their basket. Some people like to look at the 3 times leverage one. So I'm talking about SOXX on the Nasdaq market. You can also look at SOXL on the Amex market, which is the same thing as looking at SOXX, but it's also 3 times leverage. So as you guys can see right now, the semiconductor ETF is a lot weaker than the Nasdaq market. It's been in the red almost all day, if I remember now, and Nasdaq has been in the positive. SMH, that's also another semiconductor ETF, I believe, on Nasdaq. Is it SMH? Let me just go put that in. SMH. VanEck semiconductor ETF, so another semiconductor ETF. So I would look at the one that actually hold the stocks in them instead of the leverage ones when you're looking at the stock to trade at. Coming back from chip makers over there, let's go take a quick look at what can we take a look at. We talked about banks today. You know what? Now that Miss V's not here, I'm gonna actually have to figure out how to use Icon Terminal and stuff. So maybe time to bug Brandon about that one. But here, where's Finviz? Finviz is over here. Here's our heat map. Awesome. So heat map, Apple, big green blob for Apple, as you guys can see. Technology just booming. But here's your semiconductor, right? Remember how we were talking about semiconductors being weaker? You can just look at the whole sector right here, telling you how weak it is overall compared to the rest of its partner in crimes. Even some of these software applications are a little weaker than the rest of the technology sector. What is this? What is FTNT? Is that a stock name? Okay, infrastructure stock, I guess. Financials are big green. Healthcare is obviously green today. Energy. We know energy is booming. I think someone mentioned oil was moving up. I forget who in the chat mentioned that. So let's go take a look at oil. Crude futures, CL/M22. Man, the futures changed for this again. I need Arun's help for this. The futures CL/N22NM. Okay, awesome. So it's just one letter over M. We knew that. So oil right now actually in the negative slightly, not too much, but still above $100 overall. So crude futures are slightly in the negative. And for Nancy, for anyone wondering what the future contract now is, MNKD news. MNKD. What is MNKD? Mankind? MNKD. So Mankind currently halting on the way up at $4.14. Yeah, $4.14. Not sure what the news catalyst is, but look at that volume spike.
Wow.
Big volume spike on that one. And for some reason, obviously, we're now getting ready to play with different levels than it's used to. So it jumped up right to this range. Oh, it opened up. It opened up and it's ripping even more. Look at that volume coming in. Still tons of volume in here. Well, volume coming in right now. So obviously tons of eyes over here. It's about to halt again. It's about to halt in the next 10 seconds here. Let's see it rip up over here. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2.
MNKD.
Oh, it's not halting.
Oh, no,
surprisingly enough, it's going back down over here.
That's what you don't want to see. The smash.
That's the rugs getting pulled.
That's the rug pull.
That's the rugs getting pulled.
I'm tempted to take a long there, but I'm gonna be patient.
We have 3 more minutes over here, Luca. If you want to cover MNKD by any chance, like you see anything that is speaking volumes to you, like anything that the viewers can pick up off.
Well, you know, when you look at these names, you got to be, obviously volume comes in. It's when the volume, you want to be in and out with the volume. If the volume comes in and it stays, then obviously you're holding, right? And if the book looks healthy, then you're holding. But, you know, if volume dies right away, that's where you have to worry, right? Because then it's like you don't want to be the last one out. That's the main thing. You don't want to be the last one out. I have no idea why this halted. Is there any news here?
Yeah, we're probably gonna have to wait to see if. Let me see if I can find something.
MNKD. Oh, the float on this one is 237 million. Okay, that's pretty big, if that's correct.
What did you say the float was?
237, 240 million. That's quite a bit.
MNKD.
Yeah, this is an old
MNKD,
stock.
Yeah.
This isn't something that, like, I mean, I wouldn't really jump into this after that. I like low floats for the halts. Those are interesting. Oh, $1 billion company too. Yeah, okay. You know, just keep this on watch. I kind of like the short better, to be honest.
Yeah, keep it on watch for sure. Tons of opportunities coming in. The market waking up. Nasdaq getting above 12K right now while we're talking about it. So Nasdaq trying to push up even more and go play with the high a day. S&P 500 trying to follow along with it. At financial ETF also pushing up back to the high a day. So the overall market waking up. Time for us to sadly go to bed right now. The show is coming to an end. So as you guys have seen today, the layout, it's going to be me and one other trader, and we're going to be switching it. Hopefully that doesn't take away from their trading time, because, you know, they're here to trade. They're here to make their money during trading. Everything being considered, we thank these guys for coming on, helping me and helping
Anytime.
you guys with their information. So smash that like button. Only a couple more to 1,000, but we don't have any more time. So peace out. Come back tomorrow, 11 o'clock. Adios.
Ciao.
Hey guys, welcome to the close. Couple hours left on a pretty exciting day here. Right back to positive territory to kick things off for a brand new trading week and then some. We're extending some of the gains we saw late in the day on Friday. 1.8% there for the S&P. The Dow actually leading, as we saw on the morning show, is what I'm trying to say. 2.07%.